Here I am, God, arms wide open. Here I am, pouring out my life, gracefully broken. Oh, gracefully, all to Jesus now. All to Jesus now, holding nothing back, holding nothing back. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Pouring out my life, gracefully broken.
Well, Matt, thanks for sharing the song with us. Man, what an amazing song. This lyric and this theme is so powerful. And talk about the song a little bit. I know you wrote this with some friends, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, and also Jonas, and I think a couple other people were writing on the song as well.
Well, this song started life in Sacramento in a little hotel business room or something with Jonas, Marin, Brian and Katie Torwalt and myself, and that's how the verses were formed. And it initially sat around for a while, and I kept thinking, how do we finish the song and feel right? And then Tasha Cobbs Leonard got in touch, and she said, hey, you and Jonas want to write together, and she's got a real heart for just bridging together some of the streams of the church. And I'm really kind of in the same place, to be honest. I'd done an event with her before and thought, man, she's just carrying something so amazing, and some of the streams of the church, I'm traveling a lot, she's not around there. So we thought, let's spend some time together, write some songs together.
That's awesome. And
this song, Gracefully Broken, is one of the songs that came out of it. She's recorded it, and I've done it too. And you know, I love this theme. It's this sense that even in our brokenness, you know, there's a measure of brokenness, isn't there, when you're a worshiper, when you bring your offering, when you're having God shape your life. But even the brokenness, it's unkindly, it's ungracefully, and there's no cruelty in it, and there's no harshness in it, and I love that.
Yeah, I love that. It seems like it would be like a C.S. Lewis line, but it's such a great concept of when we're honest before God. It's a scary thing, yeah. and to be opened up like that, but it's God's grace that comes in a loving way and really just puts its arms around us in that moment.
That's
so
a great way
it's just a beautiful image there. Yeah,
and so it's just a lovely moment, and you know, it's beautiful that she's ended up singing on the record.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, walk us through what you're playing. So you're actually doing a step down from the recording.
Yeah, we're in A on the recording. I have actually led it in G. Quite often I'm in A flat here, and I'm just playing like a D chord, which obviously, sorry, a C sharp chord, and everything to me is always on capo. So I'm
Capo's your
take
friend.
all I have in these hands and multiply, God, all that I am, and find my heart on the altar again, set me on fire. Super simple. And we're going to the minor. Here I am, God, arms wide open. Very simple progression for the chorus. And then the only other section of the song, the bridge, very similar chords again. All to Jesus now, all to Jesus now, holding nothing back, holding nothing back. So it's always going E minor, C, G, D. Nothing complicated in this song at all, but I like the way you can pace it. You can start real down, and it's just like, it's kind of slow build song that kind of takes off at some point.
Yeah, and I love that little vamp section at the end,
Yeah.
where Tasha comes in, and it's that little walk up there, but it's
Yeah, we've got a beautiful little
just
moment
beautiful.
where
You
it's
think the
like-
song's over, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just like another part here.
And it's kind of an optional part, you know, because if you don't have for me singing it in a male key, if I don't have a female singer with me, it's kind of hard to incorporate that. So you can not do it, or you can put it in. It's just a walk-up thing. Your power at work in me, I'm broken gracefully, I'm strong when I am weak, I will be free.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to go.
Yeah, that's great. Man, thanks so much for sharing the song with us.
Pleasure,
I
mate.
can't wait for the church to hear it.
So glad.
Here I am, God, arms wide open. When I was searching, your love was never far. You made a way to get to me. You were the whisper leading me to your heart. Forever I belong to you. Now I can see clearly, my God, you for me. You won't let go. Your love won't let me down. And I know it's true. Yeah, I know that your love is all around. I believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me down, 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 down. Love won't let me. Right when I need you, you listen as I pray. You leave the 99 for me. You paint the sky with promises of your grace. So I will find my way to you. Now I can see clearly, my God, you for me. You won't let go. Your love won't let me down. And I know it's true. Yeah, I know that your love is all around. I believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me down, 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 down. Love won't let me down, 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 down. Love won't let me. Holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you'll never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me.
Well, hey everyone, welcome. I am here with some of the Young and Free crew, Alex, Laura and Mike. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, we're talking about this brand new song, Love Won't Let Me Down, and you've just showed us this song, a great version, very different to the recording. Let's talk a little bit about the writing of the song. I know you guys wrote this song together.
Yes.
Take us to that moment. How did the song come about?
Yeah, well, we write a lot together, which is really fun, and the method in which we get there is often very different. And this one in specific was one of the most unique days I feel like I've had of writing. And it was just kind of this dynamic of, we kind of saw some gold in what we were searching for, but it took us a while to find it. And Mike can talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I feel like we kind of exhausted every option, trying a whole bunch of different vibes, different chords, different tempos, even different lyric ideas. But there was always like a couple, like maybe a couple small parts of a melody that meant that we like wanted to like keep going at it. And then I think it was towards the end of the day, like that night, when that theme, the title "Love Won't Let Me Down" kind of came, and that really resonated with both of us. And from there, the song kind of came together like straight away. Would have been a couple hours, which felt like no time.
Yeah. Yeah, around like 9 p.m. after starting at like 10 a.m. But it was awesome. It's yeah, like Michael said, "Love Won't Let Me Down." That theme and that concept really resonated with me. Essentially, sitting there that day and wondering, what is the truth that I want to sing? What is the truth that I want to pen that is going to be able to put in people's mouths, that they're going to sing something, and that truth, that God's love, Jesus' love, isn't going to fail us. And yeah, I think what I love about this song is the story and the picture that it paints as well within the verses, that we often think on our journey and our relationship with Jesus, that, you know, his path is this straight journey, and we sort of will drift off and we think, oh, we've got to get back to God some way. But I think the beauty of Jesus and relationship with him is that he's constantly pursuing us, that maybe we do drift a little bit away, but like it says in the second verse, is that you would leave the 99 for me, that he's relentlessly pursuing us. And no matter where we go, no matter what we do, that this relationship with Jesus is never going to fail us. It's never going to let us down, and it's always going to be with us. So it was a fun song to write, and we're excited. Yeah, we're excited
that's
about
great.
it.
Well done, guys. Laura, can you just talk to us about this writing process? You guys are in a writing season.
Yeah.
You've been away for a bit. You're home at the moment, and you're writing. What does that look like for the Young and Free crew?
Yeah, well, I think it always looks a little bit different just depending on where we are and who we're with and so on. A lot of it comes out of conversation, talking about whether it's, you know, personal experience or thinking of, I guess, young people. We all work with young people, and Young and Free, you know, that's what we're about, and what we're meant to bring is a song for them. And so that's why I love it. I love a song like this, because working with a lot of young people, you see so many relationships that do let them down or do fail them. And so to be able to create such a high energy vibe, and that's full of freedom and that's full of joy and kind of has that triumphant kind of tone to it, and to be able to declare that, you know, the love of God won't let them down, I think is really powerful. And so I think it looks different all the time, but hopefully, you know, it's effective.
It's good. I love it. My kids love this song, so I'm glad they're going to be singing this song on Friday night. Let's talk through some of the chords. And you've done this today. You did it in a different key than the recording, right?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to have to scream at you today. So we took it down just a step. So we're playing it in the key of F. So I'm playing on acoustic with capo 1 in E form, and just sort of playing these nice finger picking chords, just...
Tasty.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Now, we've talked about the fact this is very different version. You've done a very different version today than the recording, but you added a couple of melodies. Mike, do you just want to show us some of the melodies that you added specifically in the chorus there that have helped this new version? It's
kind of after the chorus in the drop section. Obviously, we don't have like a dance track today, so still looking for ways to give it a lift and something fresh. So there's this counter melody that comes in against the drop. My piano part was going... And Laura was was singing the same top line, which was a counter melody to what Pappas was singing, which is the main part.
Yeah, I think it went really well. Do you guys want to try that right now, just to show us how that worked in with the main melody?
Yeah, sure. Goes a little something like this.
Love won't let me down, 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 down. Love won't let me down.
Great.
Yeah, when we were coming up with that, we sort of, obviously we don't have a giant track doing something cool behind it, doing like carrying that moment. So if we were to want to execute this in a different setting, we just talked about, rather than us just trying to sing that really quick melody of down, because it wouldn't sound very good, simplifying it, and again, rather than just singing block chords or block harmonies over it, we just talked about throwing a counter melody over it, and I think it's nice.
Yeah, I think it's great. So Laura, what do you think? I'm a worship leader. I'm watching this video right now, and I'm getting my songs ready for Sunday morning. Is this a song that I could look at?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes we can be a little bit apprehensive, you know, on a Sunday morning in particular, with a song like this, especially the original kind of version with the track and so on. But, you know, we've seen it, you know, work and bring that energy and bring that just positivity and that freedom and that joy that I talked about. And so, you know, I would say song one, like, that's a great place to put it. Or if you're doing it in a more intimate kind of setting in the version like we did today, you could even, you know, song 3 or so on. It's a beautiful, worshipful kind of vibe as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, well done, guys. It's a really, really great song. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here today.
Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me. Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, move in our hearts. There's a stirring in the spirit, heaven, something holy, can you feel it, heaven? Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and word flood the earth, flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reserve flood the earth, flood the earth. Freedom is here, fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat. Every heart here finding healing, heaven. In this moment, you're revealing, heaven. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and word flood the earth, flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reserve flood the earth, flood the earth. Come and move. We invite your presence again and again and again. Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, move in our hearts, heaven. Flood the earth. Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, Move in our hearts, heaven. Flood the earth. 'Cause freedom is here. Fear has to leave. Pain has to go. Darkness retreat. Heaven. Flood the earth. Oh, freedom is here. Fear has to leave. Pain has to go. Darkness retreat. Heaven. Flood the earth. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and word flood the earth. Flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reason flood the earth. Flood the earth. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and word flood the earth. Come flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reason flood the earth. Come flood the earth.
Brian and Katie, good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
Thanks for sharing this song with us. Man, on the new Jesus Culture record, a song called Flood the Earth.
Yeah.
And Katie, maybe start with you and like talk about, I love the things around this song. It really is a prayer and just asking God to come and do what only He can do. But talk about this song and just the ideas. I know you wrote this with some friends as well.
Yep. One of our friends, Mia Field, who's an amazing writer here in Nashville, brought a piece of this song to us, and she said initially it just reminded her of us, and as soon as I heard it, she just sang it for us a cappella actually the first time, just a little piece of it. And the first time I heard it, I was like, I could sing this all day. First of all, I love the declaration, I love the prayer. It's sort of an invitation, you know. And some of the song was done, like I said before, but then we actually wrote onto it and finished it with her and at our house in Sacramento at home. And one of the parts that means a ton to me is the second verse, and it's really a prophetic declaration. Freedom is here, fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat. And for me, that's what it looks like when heaven comes, when heaven floods the earth. That is the response. That's the effect that heaven has, is pain. There's no more pain. There's no more fear. Darkness, there's no place for darkness. And so that is one of my favorite parts of the song to sing. I probably repeat it too much live when we sing it. But it is just a powerful moment, and we've sung it at church a whole bunch, and it's just been really fun to sing with our congregation throughout different seasons, seeing God use it and move through that declaration and remind people of the truth, remind people of what it looks like when heaven invades earth.
Yeah.
So.
And Brian, we were talking about just the power of songs like this where you're singing things in the present that are still, maybe for some people are yet to come, or maybe that's not the season they're in, but you're speaking that kind of over their situation.
Yeah, there's something so powerful about declaring what God has on His heart, what we see in Scripture, and just declaring it as a congregation in one, in unity. And there's so much power. We've seen God do so many things in moments like that. So this song, we feel like, can be one of those moments in a Sunday morning or a conference or whatever. So
yeah, that's amazing. Well, walk us through what you're playing. You're capo 4?
Capo 4, key of B. The beginning of the song is all keys and Katie just singing, but it's real simple. It's G sharp minor to the B to the F sharp. So 6, 1, 5. And then the second part of the verse, pre-chorus, it goes to the 2, which is the C sharp minor. We normally just write 4 chords in a song, but we felt like, mixing it up a little bit. But so it goes to goes to the 2, C sharp minor to the B to the 4, which is the E, and it just holds that until you get to the chorus. To the let your glory and your power to the G sharp minor, majesty and word, and it just hovers on that forever for the chorus. And then verse 2 is the same as verse 1, and then the bridge, there's 2 sections of the bridge, and it goes real simple from the 6-4-1-5, the G sharp minor, to the E, to the B, F sharp, and then the second half to the freedom is here. It just starts to walk up. Just the 4, the E. The fear has to leave. G sharp minor, B. And 5/7, and then E. The fear has to leave. Pain has to go. Darkness retreat to heaven. E. F sharp, and then C sharp minor. It's your glory, and then back to the chorus. Yeah. So there you go.
Like repeat 10 times.
Repeat 10 times.
Yeah.
Just keep going it over and over. That's the bridge section that we just will go over and over and over again. For
Absolutely.
Sure. But,
guys, thanks for sharing the song with us.
Absolutely.
Really great. Well done.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
David, Ed, good to have you guys here today. We're listening to a song called All My Hope, and this is pretty gospel. Ed was playing the piano just a minute ago, getting ready to do this, and it's fun. And so before we play it, just want to have you guys talk about it and hear the story behind it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Every time I go, I was just telling Ed a while ago, one of my favorite places on the planet, Ed has this little, like when you get, I always take Uber when I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, where he lives. Actually, it is in like Franklin, Tennessee, which is like a more pleasant version of Nashville. It's like real nice. Like even Comcast people are nice there. It's like amazing. And so, but I've always got Uber, and the Uber drops me off at your place. You know, first of all, it's like weird to tell them where to take me, and they feel like it's like we're going into nowhere, and we go into nowhere, and then they take me up your little gravel driveway and they drop me off. And my favorite place is where I go into your house. And there's like this little, it's like, there's a porch. There's like a proper porch over to your left side of things, but then there's like a little porch that I go into that has a door, I guess, for people like me to come into your house. Like not the front door, but like another side door kind of thing. Like you won't let me come through the front door or something like that. But anyway, it's my favorite place, that porch. How many lyrics have happened sitting on that porch? It's amazing. So I walk up that porch into Ed's domain, and he's like, hey man, I'm thinking about this. And then this happens.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Does that mean you guys are going to play?
Yeah, it was crazy. He was telling me about, I just had
the record. Yeah,
you hadn't even, this was kind of another one of the, like that, the way that picture sort of showed up with the title on it. We were like, what the heck? Mm-hmm. I remember about this, that like you hadn't even really told me the vision for what
for the American Prodigal record.
American Prodigal, where you were going with it, you know. But in my mind, I had you on my mind, and I was just, you know, dorking around with this idea. I mean, it's definitely a bit old school, but you have such a roots thing about you. You know, I've always loved that. You have such a true artistry and a love for like the just everything that is the purest form of music. You know, I think that's what shows up in a lot of your stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to just, you know, have this rough idea.
That was what's crazy. And so then when he starts playing this, I'm like, oh my word, this is like an anchor track. This is like when you drop the anchor and it has root in something that everything else will hinge on. And then so not just like for the thematic content of the record, but just in terms of like the church and the moment that we exist in right now currently, and how in the world we could say something that bonds us in a deep way. Just a simple, all my hopes in Jesus, like that's man. So I don't know, it's one of those deals. We kept saying this throughout the process of this whole record, is like I would be like, dude, do you ever feel like you're barely here? You know, like you're just barely here, and things are coming through you, like an Old Testament character or something, where it's like you're being used, but you know you're the most unlikely person that he should be breathing through.
No doubt.
And this was one of those songs, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would sing like a line and we would look at each other and be like, what in the world, bro?
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like, this ain't us, man. And that's the best feeling you could ever have, messing around with music and trying to say something on behalf of the church. Is like, that's the best feeling you can have. It's like, I don't even know. We'll probably look real clever like, but we aren't.
No.
Something just breathed in that room that day and it was on that front porch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
I've been held by the Savior. I felt fire from above. I've been down to that river. I ain't the same. A prodigal returned. Oh, my hope is in Jesus. Thank God my yesterday's gone. Oh, my sins are forgiven. Oh, I've been washed by the blood.
Man. So we're gonna make everybody go listen to the record to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, a little taste. Yeah, a little. It's, I guess it's like a chorus. I mean, a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Yeah, it's awesome. And double chorus at the end. Everything else.
Yeah.
There's no bridge or nothing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, I'm watching your hands that whole time, and I think we're going to have the sheet music for this one. But what can we learn from you right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
playing
there's some little, like there's a lot of that old, gospel stuff. There's a lot of those, I call them slippery notes, but this stuff's not really necessary to pull the song off.
I like the slippery notes.
I do too, don't we? So yeah, it's just and some of these chords I don't even know the names of.
Well, just play it and people can figure it out.
So it's I think the song is actually in B flat. When I turned 40, I made a decision I wasn't going to play anything except in C. So I'm transposed. Simplify my life. So I'm playing it in C. I'll call out the numbers. So it just starts on a 1, and it just kind of walks up 1. It's almost kind of a lean on me-ish type deal. So it's 1, 2, 1/3, 4. And you can sneak a little flat 7, flat 7. Just quick to it, and then 1, 1, 2, 1/3, 5, and then that, which is a 4/5. That chord shows up quite a bit. So it'd be like in C, it's a G in the bass with an F on top. So that's kind of the intro and verse picture, And then 6, and then 5, and then 1, 4, and then to a 1/5, and then a 4/5, and then a 1, and then a little quick 4/5 right before the chorus. And the chorus is kind of very similar. It might be the exact same chorus. Let me walk through it just to make sure. 1, and then that same walk up. 2, 1 over 3, 4, and I sneak that flat 7. And the way you kind of do that is you just like go that B flat real quick in C, and but again the song's in A flat, so you're gonna have to transpose it. How confusing is that?
He put a capo on the keyboard, but he didn't.
And then a 5, and that's a 4 over 5 again. My sins. 2, 1 over 3, 4, same little move, and then one new chord here for the chorus would be, which,
that's a good chord.
I don't know what that guy is called. It's some kind of a diminished. So if you're playing in F, you would just raise the, if it's first inversion F, you know, F, A, C, you would just raise that F up to an F sharp, and then.
So what notes are you playing right there?
Yeah, so that's a F sharp in the bass, and then the chord is an F sharp, an A, and a D. So the 4 to the, just a little diminished raise, and then, or excuse me, the 1. So let me go through that again. So, oh, my hope is in Jesus. Oh, yesterday's gone. Oh, my sins are forgiven. Then a 1 over 5. 4 over 5. Been washed by the one. So, there you have it.
The transposing thing is totally cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh man.
And in main stage, you can just hide it. You put it in the program and nobody even knows.
If a guy's good enough to play in A flat, then he won't have any problem transposing that.
For the rest of us, we can do that.
That's right.
To the capo.
That's right, capo piano.
Cool. Thank you guys for sharing it with us. Appreciate you coming by today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank God my yesterday. Sunrise, you brought the sun into my dark night. Wide-eyed, you brought the color to my black and white. Ooh, feel like I'm living for the first time. Ooh, and I'm dancing in your light. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. Landslide, your love came crashing into my life. High tide, your grace is washing every wrong right. Ooh, feel like I'm living for the first time. Ooh, and now I'm dancing in your light. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. I was lost and your love came to find me. I was blind till you showed me my victory. I was bound and you set me free. Now I'm alive, I'm alive. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. Oh, this is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom, this is what freedom. Oh, oh, that's what freedom feels like.
Man, that was fun. I love this song, What Freedom Feels Like. just what's the story behind it? Just I love that it's upbeat, and just tell us a little bit of the heart behind it.
So it's just a fun song, you know, and I really, when I was writing this song, I was thinking about it in that first song out of the gate in church, just that upbeat song. And, you know, I really wanted to paint a picture. I got the idea first of just the hook, what freedom feels like. And I'm like, man, like, there's something that happens whenever you first get saved, whenever you first meet Jesus, and that in that moment when you get free of something, or that just that feeling of that burden lifted off your shoulders. And, you know, I just wanted to really just write some lyrics that kind of just portrayed that, and to create a song production-wise, and that just felt good. You know, it felt like that moment, what that would feel like. And so really that's where it came from, just wanting to write a song like that and wanting to have something fun on the record and the set. And you know, a lot of the lyrics kind of just paint different metaphors, different pictures of what that feels like when you get free, when you get saved, when you meet Jesus. And you know, so and then the bridge is like this, you know, the story of salvation. You know, I was lost and now I'm found. You know, I was bound, now I'm free, I'm alive. And so, man, it's really just meant to be this celebratory thing. And I love, as I've been leading worship, you know, for a while now, I really love leading people to a place of celebration, really just helping encourage people to say, hey, this is something to celebrate. Jesus is something to celebrate. This is good news, you know, there's a reason.
Sometimes we feel like it's not okay.
Yeah.
To like get excited and be celebrated. And
for sure. And
contrary to popular belief, it is okay.
It is okay. And it's good news. You know, it's something to be celebrated. And I find myself a lot leading worship, just as I'm, you know, kind of encouraging people in the middle of songs, I'll say, let's celebrate this together. You know, I just really kind of found that as a thing, just this revelation that I've had. And so I just wanted to write a song that in some way, you know, just portrayed that. So
cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, show us how to play it.
So it's super easy. It's the same 4 chords, really only 3 chords, but it's the same progression the whole time. And I'm kind of doing it with the bass note on the E string here, and then the 3rd on the G. So those 2 together. So for the F, you're going like that, 1st and 2nd fret. For the G, 3rd and 4th fret. For the A minor, you're going to go just both on the 5th fret and back. So that's really the verses and everything are in that progression. And then in some ways I'm going up high just to kind of give it a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a different feel. But it's really the same chords, same notes, just an octave up. So I'm going here on the A and the B string. I'm going to the 8th and the 10th fret like that. 10th and the 12th for the G. 12th and 13th for the A minor. Back to the 10th and 12th. So you can kind of create the same thing up here as down here. And that's kind of just acoustic version. I'm kind of just picking like this. If you wanted to kind of strum it, you could do the same thing up here with these. But it's really just the same chords the whole time. Super easy to play, super fun. You can kind of just forget about what you're playing and just have fun with it.
And you could play just the normal F, G,
yeah, you could totally
A minor
just
at the bottom. But why?
But I mean, that's what you want to do, right? But this has a cool little melody to it, you know, which is like kind of the acoustic is a pretty big part of the song on the record, so it kind of is like a hook, you know. Now, so that's how you play that.
Cool, man. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming and sharing it with us. Appreciate it.
This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like.
There's a space in every beating heart. There's a longing that reaches past the stars. There's an answer to every question mark. There's a name. There's a hope flowing through these veins. There's a voice that echoes through the pain. There's an ember ready for the flame. There's a name. We will fix our eyes on the one who overcame. We will stand in awe of the one who breaks the chains. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. There's a joy that triumphs over fear. There's a laughter that wipes away all tears. There's a presence changes atmospheres. There's a name. We will lift our eyes to the one who overcame. We will stand in awe of the one who breaks the chains. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Victory has a name. Victory has a name. Jesus. Hope has a name. Hope has a name. Jesus. The name that's lifted up forever. The name that shakes the earth and shakes the heavens. The hope of every heart. The Savior of the world. Jesus. Jesus. We will fix our eyes on the one who overcame. We will stand in awe of the one who breaks the chains. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus.
Kim and Jeffrey, great to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Thanks for sharing these new songs with us. It's always exciting to hear new Jesus culture music. And we've gotten to live with these songs for a few weeks now. And I was actually in Sacramento the night that you guys recorded this.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking at the time, this song, it was like, man, this is so powerful. Just some of the lines that are in it, and talking about all the things that Jesus is in the song.
Yeah.
And seeing the congregation respond to that was really powerful. Talk about this song a little bit and how it came about.
Yeah, so this song I wrote with some friends, and it was all about wanting to kind of put some language to who God is in our lives, and kind of really painting a picture. You know, he's the one we fix our eyes on, the one who overcame, the one who breaks the chains. He's the voice that is pulling us through the dark places. He's the one of my favorite lines is the answer to every question mark. You know, that he is the answer we're looking for in every question. And we wrote this song with the intention of, in a church worship service, that the worship leader could insert really whatever word it is that they want to say in that moment of who God is to them. So the chorus says, love has a name, Jesus. But from that point, and the way that I did it when we did it live was, you know, hope, joy, victory, you know, all these different things. Like, who is Jesus to you? And so we kind of wanted to leave it where it was kind of open to where different churches and worship leaders could insert their own words and expression of who God is to them and sing that out. So
yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot, you know, we have a lot of songs that are about just kind of like, you know, Jesus and attributes, but I think it's really helpful for churches just to be able to really, like you say, customize, but also like work in all these different thoughts about who God is to you and what Jesus has done for you. It's really powerful. And I love, my favorite line is that set up to the chorus, you know, we'll fix our eyes on the one who overcame. I remember that night, everybody's just like,
yeah.
It's so powerful.
The octave jump again.
Yes.
That always makes you kind of go, yes!
Absolutely. Well, Jeffrey, walk us through what you're playing chord-wise.
Yeah, well, this song's in G, and it's got a lot of chords in it. So here we go. The verse is 6, E minor, 5 D, 1 G, 5 D, A minor 2, 6, 5, 1, 5. Like that. Pre-chorus is 4-1-5, 4-1-5, C, G, D, and then the chorus is C, G, D, E minor, or 4-1-5-6. And then the only other part of the song is the bridge, and it has a lot of changes in it. That goes 2-1-5-6, 2-1-5-6, passing 3, 2-1-5-6, 4-1-5. Here, I'll play it. Bridge.
Absolutely. Right. A lot of chords.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It's not too bad. They're all normal chords.
Well, guys, thanks so much for sharing the song. Kim, it's exciting to hear the new music. Well done.
Thank you.
Again, who you are. All things are possible. God of the miracle. Oh, let your will be done. We pray for heaven here today. Your kingdom to reign always. Here on earth as in heaven. Here on earth as in heaven. You give us all we need. Forgive us everything. Help us to love as you loved us. Now come and build your throne. your kingdom come. We pray for heaven here today. Your kingdom to reign always, here on earth as in heaven. Here on earth as in heaven. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, now and forever. Amen. Yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, now and forever. Amen. Amen. We pray for heaven here today. Your kingdom to reign always, here on earth as in heaven. Oh, here on earth as in heaven. Oh, here on earth as in heaven.
Guys, thanks so much for sharing the song. It's great to have the full band here.
Oh, yeah.
Man, love the cajon back here, Josh. Nice job. Man, this song is so cool in that, man, there's not a lot of songs about prayer in the church and praying. And I know as we've talked, like you guys have seen a really strong response as you've led this at different places. People are responding to the song. But let's start with you, Tim. Like, talk about the song and just, you know, how the song got going, what were the thoughts behind writing it?
Yeah, well, there's been a really exciting move in the UK over the last couple of years where the Archbishop of Canterbury's called the nation to pray in the run-up to Pentecost in June. And so last year, hundreds of thousands of people gathered to pray, and cathedrals were full. I think there's 3,000 prayer meetings all over the country, and we're doing it again 2017. And we've also, as Worship Central, been very much connecting with a movement called 24/7, led by a great friend of ours, Pete Gregg, and seeing worship and prayer coming together. And it's been really exciting. And so I guess we were trying to write a song that was a prayer. And what's the greatest prayer? It's the Lord's Prayer. So we kind of tried to find a way of putting those amazing, timeless words to fresh music. And it's been exciting. I mean, we this whole coming together of prayer and worship feels like there's so much life in it. And so we're really excited with this song.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, walk us through what you're playing. Like you're capoed like 12 there.
G chord. I like the G chords. It's just fun. But it can be you know, and the record is done in C. We just did in D. Tim's got a bit of a girlier voice than but so it's basically the chorus is really simple. It just walks from C, it's kind of just C to B, holding the kind of G shape really. D, E minor. And that's literally basically it, the chorus. But then the verse is C, Father high above, D, hallowed, and the E minor. That's the verse. And then quickly the bridge is a C. Yours is the kingdom, D. And then 1/3, the power and glory. And then 6. Now and forever. Amen. It just keeps going through that. Yeah. So that's basically, that's it.
Yeah. It's actually capo 7. It wasn't quite 12.
Yeah, it's close, but yeah.
Guys, thanks for sharing the song with us. And I'm really excited about the church getting around this song and to see that prayer and worship come back together in the church. Thanks.
We pray for heaven here today. Your King.
Here we go.
What a Savior at the cross you showed how much you love me. Miles away I threw myself on mercy. I was dead and buried, then you raised me back to life. Raised me back to life with a promise. Every day I know that you are with me. Stepping out of darkness into glory. Heaven came to rescue, now I'm walking in the light. Walking in the light on Mercy Road. Thank you for saving me, oh I found hope on Mercy Road. Goodness will follow me and lead me home. Give it all now, running through this wall, but it's not easy. Gotta look to you because you call me. Living with a purpose and I'm never turning back. Never turning back on Mercy Road. Thank you for saving me, oh I found hope on Mercy Road. Goodness will follow me and lead me home. I know your love will always carry on every side. God, you surround me, my strength, my guide. You're everything I need. I know your love will always carry on every side. God, you surround me, my strength, my guide. You're everything I need. Oh, on Mercy Road. Thank you for saving me, oh I found hope on Mercy Road. Goodness will follow me and lead me home. Oh, I'm on Mercy Road. Thank you for saving me, oh I found hope on Mercy Road. Goodness will follow me and lead me home.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us, man. Great
Thank you.
performance. I like the whole team here. It's awesome.
Especially Nick.
Yes,
None of this is
especially
possible
Nick.
without
And
his
the
orange
orange
guitar.
guitar. Yeah.
Orange guitar. You don't see many orange guitars
You
around,
don't.
do you? No,
You don't. Well, man, this song is actually Mercy Road. It's the title of the new Worship Central record.
Yeah.
And man, it's such a testimony, I think, of, we were talking earlier, of where you guys are walking as a church. And in the city here, Birmingham, new work. For people that don't know, it's a new work you guys planted, a year and a half ago, and it's just amazing what God's doing through the church. But talk about this song. We'll start with you, Tim, about just kind of what the idea behind it was.
Well, people often ask me, when you're writing songs, what comes first? Melody, lyrics. And this one, a few of us were writing a song and sort of had this great melody, great track, felt really good. And we were always wrestling to find the right words to kind of match in with the theme of the music. And sitting in church, and this guy was preaching, and he just said this phrase, we're walking on Mercy Road. And that just jumped out, and I just loved that. And we're actually trying to write it into another song. And then, I can't remember who, but felt actually that theme could fit brilliantly with this musical idea we had. And actually, Josh, you were there, and you've sort of this whole idea of the journey.
Yeah, I mean, we just felt that like Mercy Road kind of, it is like the journey of the Christian life, the Christian walk. There's we're not just headed for a destination. It's just not the end point. That's the only thing in our mind. But actually, it's walking with Jesus. It's loving Him, coming back to the cross all the time, asking for mercy. And the journey is that there's a huge value in that as well.
Yeah. And I think also just you guys, where you're situated, and you're kind of an inner city church, and around you is like just tons of need of all kinds.
Yeah.
And man, what a great song, not just for the church to sing, but also as a reminder of what's happening around us and the mercy God had for us, he also has for those.
Well, and it's interesting, most people, I think, turn up to church feeling shame and guilt. And actually, that's the beauty of the cross, is that all that shame, condemnation, guilt has been lifted off us. And we're on Mercy Road where, you know, new mercies every morning. So that's something to get excited and joyful about. And hopefully this music captures something of the fun and joy of that.
Yeah, it's a great song for Nick to dance to.
And he loves to dance.
He loves
on
to
his own.
But Josh, let's do some chords with you. Now, on the recording, you guys are in the key of B.
Yeah.
But for what we just did, you played it in drop D because we were doing it in A. So that's not confusing enough.
No.
So why don't you're in capo 2, and you're going to show us in G shapes. Is that right?
G shapes.
Yeah.
Great, so taking it from the verse, here we go. What a Savior, E minor. At the cross you showed how much you loved me. Going to the sea, miles away I threw myself on mercy. E minor again. I was dead and buried, then you raised me back from the sea. Raised me back to life. And then we do another verse, and kind of at the end of that verse, we end it rather than on the C, we go to the A minor. Raised me back to life. So the minor, and then into the chorus. On mercy, D, E. Thank you for saving me, C, D, E minor. On mercy road, goodness will follow me and lead me home. Now into the bridge. We come in on the A minor. I know your love will always carry to the sea. On every side, God, you surround. E minor, my strength, my guide, you're everything I need. And back to the G. Then we just repeat that and back into on mercy road, etc. and so on.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for sharing the song with us, man. It's super exciting. This is a great opener for church. I think people are really going to love it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
On mercy road, thank you for saving me. I found hope.
Welcome to the New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. Today we have United Pursuit singing the song Nothing I Hold On To. So sit back and enjoy this New Song Cafe. Will and Brock, it's great to be with you guys.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thanks for letting us come in, invade your space a little bit here in Knoxville.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And this song is called Nothing I Hold On To. We were just talking about this song. Kind of started off in 2 separate sections, ended up kind of being one longer song. But you guys are going to play it for us, and we'll circle back around and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, all right.
I lean not on my own understanding. My life is in the hands of the Maker of heaven. I lean not on my own understanding. My life is in the hands of the Maker of heaven. I give it all to you, God, trusting that you make something beautiful out of me. I give it all to you, God, trusting that you make something beautiful out of me. And I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide. There's nothing I hold on to. 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 wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands wide open. I will climb this mountain with my hands. There's nothing I hold on to. There's nothing I hold on to. There's nothing I hold on to. There's nothing I hold on to.
Wow. It's really a song of surrender and letting go and trusting God. Talk about the song a little bit in the writing. The way you guys process and create songs, you know, that a lot of them start in the worship time, and during those worship times, there seems to be a good amount of just kind of listening. You know, I even noticed that in some of our time, you know, just setting in on worship with you guys, and there's this moments where you kind of sit and you just kind of, you know, it's like, what's God saying? You know, what can we hear? But talk about this song and kind of how it started. Did it start out of that, just that corporate worship time?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think the whole thing was during a worship time, and kind of got pieced together over the course of a night. And yeah, I mean, you can kind of tell it's like, it's basically just a lot of little simple phrases that sort of just popped out one at a time slowly. And it's the kind of thing I think we learned. Sometimes those simple phrases, they're really repetitive, but as we would sing them, the more times we would sing them, really the more it would kind of move from our heads to our hearts and really begin to strike us. And it's one thing to sing a phrase once, but if you sing it enough times, it's like something different starts to happen, and you start to make that statement of faith in kind of a whole new way. So that's kind of what that song, how it came out, and what it's been. So it's
and that's good. That's a great take on kind of the repetition song. Because a lot of people will say, you know, you hear people say, it's like, well, it's the same phrases kind of over and over again. But you're right in that, you know, oftentimes we'll sing over a line and we sang it, but it never really registered what we actually said. The repetition allows, as you said, it allows you to, as you sing it over and over, it begins to mean something different, and it kind of settles into your heart a little bit, and then God begins to use that, you know, to kind of work on you. And so there's something there in that. You know, I remember when Martin Smith wrote "I Could Sing Your Love Forever," and he got so much flack over it in the church over it, just, you know, it was repetitive.
Same thing.
You know, he was literally singing of his love over and over, but there was something there, and as the church sang and as it entered into that type of just that idea over and over, God began to do some really incredible things. And so I love that. So let's talk about what you're playing here. You're in the key of G, is that right? Yeah. It took me a while to figure that out, because you're playing some different type of chord positions up higher on the neck. Kind of walk us through what you're playing.
Yeah, totally. So the whole progression is a G, E minor, C, and G. And so it repeats those 4 chords the whole song. But when we made up the song, I was kind of messing around with playing what is like a C over G chord, but then if you slide that all the way up to, I think, the 10th fret, it just becomes a normal G chord. So it's just kind of a different way of playing that
and
G.
You're just not playing the
just leaving off all those
string.
fingers, so just using those 3 fingers, and just kind of gives it a funky open sort of sound. And then this is just kind of a different way of playing an E minor. So it's, you know, the same as an E minor chord, but again, just kind of a funky different way. And then just the C and the G. And on the bigger parts, I would drop into just playing the open, you know, standard chords to give it some energy. So that's, that's it.
Well, guys, thanks so much for sharing the song with us. It's great to be with you.
Appreciate it.
There's nothing I hold on to. There's nothing I hold on to. There's nothing.
Nothing else compares. I have everything, I am satisfied. None like you in the universe, no one else compares. None like you in the universe, who can stand beside? You've captured my rebel heart. 'Cause all that matters is to love you and be loved by you. All the riches of the world cannot compare to you. Let all else fade away. Let all else fade away. Let it fade away. Life is found in no other name, Jesus, you alone. Life is found in no other name. There's nothing that comes close. You've captured my rebel heart. God, you've captured my rebel heart. So all that matters is to love you and be loved by you. All the riches of the world cannot compare to you. Let all else fade away. Let all else fade away. Let every idol fall. Lay my ambition down. All I need is you. Jesus, only you. God, I surrender all. Nothing is hidden now. All I need is you. Jesus, only you. Let every idol fall. Lay my ambition down. All I need is you. Jesus, only you. God, I surrender all. Nothing is hidden now. All I need is you. Jesus, only you. 'Cause all that matters is to love you and be loved by you. All the riches of the world cannot compare to you. Let all else fade away. Let all else fade away. 'Cause all that matters is to love you and be loved by you. All the riches of the world cannot compare to you. Let all else fade away. Let all else fade away. Let it fade away. Let it fade away. Oh. Life is a story bought by grace. Love unrelenting called my name. Oh, what a mystery, oh, what grace. I am changed. affection, all of my praise, all my devotion for all of my days. I pour out my worship and lift up your name. Jesus, you're all that I need and more. Your riches of mercy overflow, love that surpasses all I know. I'm filled with the wonder of who you are, who you are. All my affection, all of my praise, all my devotion for all of my days. I pour out my worship and lift up your name. Jesus, you're all that I need and more. All that I need and more. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all, you have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all, you have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all, you have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all. Oh, my affection, all of my praise, all my devotion for all of my days. I pour out my worship, lift up your name. Jesus, you're all that I need and more. All that I need and more. Oh, Jesus, Jesus. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all, you have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all.
Luke, Anna, Tim, good to see you guys.
Great to be here, man.
Man, it's exciting to hear these songs that are coming out of Worship Central. And you guys are all in church here together in Birmingham. And man, this song is so encouraging, a song called Devotion. And I love this, especially love this bridge. I really feel like there's something powerful there of just this sacrifice of praise that we're giving to God. But maybe, Luke, we start with you and talk about the song and just kind of how it started and the theme behind it.
Yeah, well, just to pick up on that, really, the song started in a just time of worship. I wasn't leading. We were at this church festival called Focus that a lot of us go to, and I just felt God give me that song, that part of the song, the bridge. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my yes, you have my all. And I actually felt like God say, I think you should lead that in the moment. So I got up on stage, and Tim was actually leading at the time, and he said, yeah, come, you know.
Well, I was very offended initially. I thought it was very rude, but...
But you were like, you know, oh yeah, if you've got a song, bring it, you know. And so I think from there, we just felt like there was more to that moment. And sometimes I think with songwriting that happens, that God gives you a little deposit something that he's trying to communicate to you, and your job is to go away and kind of flesh it out. And so that's what we did. So Tim and I got together and worked a little more on that, and we came up with the chorus melody, and then actually was at a songwriting retreat and worked on this with Dean Usher from Hillsong Melbourne. Great guy, fantastic songwriter, and the song kind of took its full form after that.
Wow. So it actually is representing multiple continents here, from Australia to US to
the Commonwealth.
Yes.
That's right. Don't think the US would want to.
That's awesome. Well, kind of walk us through what you're playing on this song. Which key are you in?
Yeah, so we're in the key of C, and I'm playing C shapes down here. Super easy. So the verse starts on the A minor, F, C, G. Repeats that. So really easy. I'm just kind of keeping that nice kind of ring shapes. And then the chorus starts on the C. All my affection, 6, so A minor, walking down, G, F, and then same again. Lift up your name, Jesus, you're all, F, I need it and more, C. And then the bridge again, super simple, C, you have my heart, F, you have my soul, A minor, you have my yes, back to the F. And I was kind of just bring that around the thumb there just to give a bit of bass, but you can really stick to those shapes the whole way through. Again, you could lower it to B and play capo 4 G shapes if you wanted, but it's super easy, and so I think, you know, works for a small group as well, but we've loved leading at church.
Yeah, because I think that's been really exciting, leading at church and around the places. You know, I believe intimacy in worship's a massively important part of what we do, and that kind of this chorus, I think sometimes having space at the end just to sing it over, you know, all my affection, you know, they're intimate phrases, but it's a powerful part of our worship that we come before God Almighty, ruler of the heavens and the earth, and yet we're his children, we can just pour out our praise, and actually it's often been such a sweet sense of God's presence or space for people just to engage with the space of that. A lot of our worship can be quite, come on, you know, and it's actually nice just to remind ourselves that part of our relationship with God is as G.K. Chesterton said, a passionate love affair. I think this song helps engage with that.
Yeah, it's great. Well, guys, thanks so much for sharing the song with us.
Thank you.
In the presence of my enemies, when the storm is crashing down on me, I will trust in what I cannot see. I wait for you, I wait for you. You can part the violent sea, you can reach the depths of me. I know nothing is impossible. I know every chain is breakable. I know on Christ the solid rock I stand. I am waiting at the water's edge, holding steadfast to your promises. Even though I'm not there yet, I trust in you, I trust in you. You can part the violent sea, you can reach the depths of me. I know nothing is impossible. I know
hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. When darkness seems to hide his face, I rest on his unchanging grace. In every high and stormy gale, my anchor holds within the veil. On Christ the solid rock I stand. On other ground is sinking sand. I know nothing is impossible. I know every chain is breakable. I know on Christ the solid rock I stand. My fear is conquered by his perfect love. My life is ransomed by his royal blood. I know on Christ the solid rock I stand.
Kim, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the time to talk about these new songs from your record. We were just talking about this song. This song is so singable, and it's a song called I Know. Talk about this. I know you wrote this with another writer, but just this song, and I know even in the bridge of this song, there's some of that old hymn that kind of comes in,
Yeah.
which is like instant familiarity. But
Yeah.
talk about the song and kind of what inspired you.
Yeah, this song, the original idea for the song came from Jordan Fry, a good friend of mine and my husband's, and it was actually Skylar wrote on this with us as well, and we're kind of going off of the idea of the story of Moses standing at the edge of the water, and he's led out everyone behind him, and he's got Pharaoh on his tail, and just kind of having to really boldly believe the promises of God, and also when he tells you do this or whatever it is, and you're stepping out going, I don't know what's going to happen right now, and right now I'm standing at the edge of the sea, and I'm not really sure what God's going to do, but knowing and trusting that he is going to do something, and we wanted this song just to be all about stirring up that faith of like, yeah, there are definitely times when you're kind of going, you're coming through for me, right? Like you're still there, right? But also standing in the promise of, I know that you said go. I know that you promised to never leave me or forsake me. I know that you promised to be right there with me in the midst of all of that. And when we're getting to the bridge of the song, we're tossing out all these different ideas and kind of what exactly do we want the bridge to say. And we said, oh, you remember that old hymn? That's kind of the message we want to say. And I think it was Skylar said, well, what if we just sang the hymn? And we went, yeah, let's give that a try. And that's kind of how that came in there, because it just felt like, that actually is, timeless message that we wanted to convey in the song.
Yeah, and there's a real weightiness to the lyric of this song.
Yeah.
There's so much scripture you can tell that's like influenced the lyric, and you hear parts of the lyric, you're like, oh yeah, I know that scripture, and I know that, and so it really feels like a great song for the church just to come together and sing.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, walk us through kind of chord-wise what you're playing for this.
Yeah, the song's in E. I play with capo 2 in E, so I'm actually playing in the key of D, but capo 2. So E, the chords are for the verse are C sharp minor, A, E, and it repeats 3 times, and then it has a passing 5-4 B to A, and then the pre is 4-1-5-4-6-5, or A, E, B, A, C sharp minor, B. I'll play through that. So that's 6-4-1. And then the transition 5-4, B to A. And then the pre-chorus A, E, B, A, C sharp minor, B. And the chorus is simple, it's just 1, 5, 6, 4. And then the bridge is a walk up. It's a rise, 1, 2, 6, 4, or a E, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, A. And I repeats that a couple times.
Yeah. And Kim, you better start that bridge in a good key so that when it gets to
Right.
the end.
I mean, just when you think it can't go any higher, it does. Prepare yourself.
All right. Guys, thanks so much for sharing the song with us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
Don't close your eyes because the night is dark. Don't fear the future should it black the sun. There's a hope burning brighter in a fearless love. There's a brighter day. There's a higher name. Don't hide in silence while the truth screams out. Don't feel the future shaking up this ground. There's a freedom that marches in a different sound. So if you have the choice, if you have the voice, then lift your voice and sing. Be set free, lift up your voice and sing. If you have the love, now's the time to use it. Salvation runs for everyone, so open up the doors and let us sing. Look back no further than the Savior's cross. Look to the future like the grave is lost. There's a promise returning on the stolen years. There's nothing left to fear. Now the King is here. So lift your voice and sing. If you be set free, lift up your voice and sing. If you have the love, now's the time to use it. Salvation runs for everyone, so open up the doors and let us sing. I hear the sound marching like thunder. I see the Spirit bursting out in a mighty flood over everyone. I hear the sound of sons and daughters. I see the old dream wild in young imagining, young and noble dream. I hear the sound of earth surrender, wonders above and signs below the road to see. Will you be set free? So open up the doors We've been set free. Lift up your voice and sing. If you have the love, now's the time to use it. Salvation runs for everyone. So open up the doors and let us sing. Open up the doors and let us sing. We've been redeemed, we've been set free. The time has come, the fight is won. The future marches in and calls us free. Open up the doors and let us sing. We've been redeemed, we've been set free. The time has come, the fight is won. The future marches in and calls us free. The time has come, the fight is won. The future marches in and calls us free.
Joel and Maddie, good to see you guys.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for sharing this song with us. It's a song called Future Marches In. And man, I love this song, I think, and maybe we'll start with you Joel, to talk about it. But it's really like it's kind of a call to action for the church of like, you know, in kind of the things that are happening in the world. It's like, we're the hope, we're the light, we're the ones that step in and be hope to people. But talk about this song and just the thoughts behind it and the writing behind it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like musically, I think we wanted to make sure that we had some good upbeat stuff, you know, for church. And it was really fun because I think a lot of them, we probably had more really good upbeat songs than we needed to for the record. And this one kind of stood out for a bunch of reasons. And I think there was a moment, Maddie would play this acoustic thing all the time. That was really, really simple. And I just kept remembering it and being like, oh, we got to do something with that. But the song itself kind of just fell out of nowhere. And it was kind of ideas we'd had floating around for a little while and wanted it to kind of feel kind of old school. And musically we would talk often about like just the music that we fell in love with when we were kids and the music we fell in love with when it came to worship and praise. And so I think this song kind of fell into that kind of a groove really naturally. The band just kind of jumped onto it and all the pieces kind of fell into place. But what was wild about it was we actually kind of ditched this song all the way until like the last night. And we'd finished all the other songs. And then I said to Mikey and Maddie, I said, why don't we finish this one? I woke up that day and I had no lyrics to write. And so we just kind of knocked it out. And what was really cool was it just kind of, it captures one of the major themes for the record. And I've just been thinking, like you said, about how, you know, at this time in history, there's like, there's a call to the church that is to kind of not bend and bow to all the noise that's out there and the fear that's in the world, but to kind of stand up and be counted in the courage of who Jesus is, what we know He's accomplished on the cross, but also the Holy Spirit that is, you know, with us and empowering us and calling us and moving us. And, you know, so there's this moment, you know, when the apostles, you know, kind of get filled with the Holy Spirit. And in Acts 2, you know, and Peter comes out and he's kind of like, he starts speaking from what the prophet Joel spoke about. And it's just really kind of like, you know, in the last days I'll pour out my spirit on all people. And, you know, it goes on, sons and daughters, you know, young and old, will dream new dreams. And, you know, there'll be signs above and wonders below and this whole kind of thing. And so the whole story of the song really is this picture of, if you go to Joel 2, it's this picture of this army just like crashing through the darkness. And I think that's kind of, to me, that fires me up. And so it's this sense of, hey, like, if we believe what we believe, if we're serious about this faith, like, we need to have a song and a sound and just a way of living this thing out that just represents the God that we serve, and it's not to be fearful, and there's nothing to be afraid of, and it's not about kind of chasing after, like, you know, our agenda, so to speak. It's more about just living in, like you said, the hope and the faith and just the knowledge of God's love that has won everything for us. And so it's a fun song. And I mean, we haven't sung it in church yet, but I know all of our guys are super fired up about leading it, because I think church is going to go crazy to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Maddie, walk us through chord-wise what you're playing.
Yeah.
What key do you guys do this in?
So on the album it's in D. We just did it in C because I think it's maybe going to be not as high. It's still got some high notes there in C, so it's probably a little bit more accessible for people to kind of do. I'm not saying by all means that we're amazing singers, but it is high. Just never went through that time of life where your voice is meant to drop. So yeah. But so it's in C. It starts on the 6, 5, 1, 4. So that's a verse.
There's a half bar in there as well, which is, it's not confusing if you get used to it.
Oh, sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is the pre. If you have the voice, 5. 4. If you're in 1. Have the voice. 4. This is how we're playing it. I think it's 5. Salvation runs for everyone, so open up the doors and let us sing. So, and then it goes to the bridge, which lands on the 4. It's just 4 and 5 pretty much. I hear the sound of I know the lyrics, but lift up your voice and sing. It goes back to the chorus. If you have a voice.
There's a double chorus. Well, on the record we do it kind of, it's an interesting way, because the first chorus was kind of not meant to be a chorus, it was meant to just be like a musical moment, but then we sung words over it. And so I think for worship leaders, I think what we're going to do is we are going to kind of do a version that's very similar to what we did just now, that kind of just treats like an A chorus and a B chorus, one that ramps, and then one that kind of just takes off and is a bit more fun. And so I think that'll make sense for worship teams. But it's one of those things where it's like, you want to make sure everyone's on the same page. This is how we do the song, and kind of run with it. But I also think that there's freedom to kind of make it work however it works for people.
I think even just acoustically, like we didn't do it like that, but we were talking about before, like even just on acoustics, there's an energy to it that's going to work. Even just singing it and playing acoustic at the same time, and if that's all you got, it's going to work. So
yeah, it's got a John Mellencamp little groove to it. Guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song with us.
Thank you.
Was nothing on the providence side. No longer bound to things of wood and stone. When all I had to offer was my worst, you saw my heavy heart and loved me first. Beauty staring down my brokenness, you chose to throw your heart into mess. crashing down upon my bed. You were there. Oh, this time, like a river running through my face. You carry me, oh, this time, like the splinter spirit of shoulders. Carry me now, hallelujah. If ever now my heart cries hallelujah, if ever now in the wonder of your grace, 1,000 times, 1,000 years my soul will say grace. You saw the crushing weight my flesh deserved. You kneeled and wrote forgiveness in the dirt. And one by one the stones fell where they lay, as one by one my accusers walked away. With nothing left to throw, they made a cross. And knowing only love could count the cost, you were there. Oh, this time, like a river running through my veins. You carried me, oh, this time, like the splinter spirit of shoulders. Your love carried all my shame. Jesus, tell my soul will praise you. You carried me all this way, like a diamond with the scars upon your crown. You carry me, hallelujah. If ever now my heart cries hallelujah, if ever now in the wonder of your grace, 1,000 times, 1,000 years my soul will say hallelujah. Ever now in the greatness of my Savior, ever now in the brightness of your Jesus, on this rock I sing your praise. Hallelujah. If ever now my heart cries hallelujah, ever now in the wonder of your grace, 1,000 times, 1,000 years my soul will say hallelujah. Forever now in the greatness of my Savior, forever now in the brightness of your name. Jesus, on this rock I'll sing your praise.
Joel and Maddie, good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing these songs with us. And this song, Splinters and Stones, man, what a unique title. And we were just talking about this song, and I want you to talk about the inspiration behind it. It's such a powerful story. And when you shared it with me, obviously the title all of a sudden is like, bing, okay, I actually get this now. So talk about the inspiration behind this song and the ideas.
Yeah, well, I mean, the inspiration kind of came out of John chapter 8, and there's a story of Jesus and the woman caught in adultery. And the Pharisees, the religious people, are trying to trap Jesus, and they're like, hey, like, what are we meant to do with this woman? The law says we're going to stone her. And you know, I think we know the story well, but Jesus, he kneels in the dirt and he draws in the dirt with his finger, and then he says, you know, whoever's without sin, throw the first stone. And of course, everybody was stumped, and the Bible says that they all dropped their stones, and one by one, every single accuser walked away. And then, at the end, I'll just read it because I love it. It just says, it says in verse 10, Jesus straightened up and asked her, the woman, where are your accusers? Where are they? Has no one condemned you? She says, no one, sir. Then neither do I condemn you. Jesus declared, go now and leave your life of sin. I just love the story. And here's the thing. I mean, I believe that story is, it really happened. There was a woman caught in adultery, but as the church, that's us, you know. He's talking about the church. And doesn't matter how righteous we think we are, doesn't matter how great our deeds are, the bottom line is every single one of us deserve to kind of be crushed underneath the weight of our sin. And the parallel and paradox in the whole thing is that, you know, Jesus was the rock. He was the solid rock, and he threw himself, because he's the only one who was without sin, he threw himself on the cross for us. So when we deserve to be crushed with stones, he knew that only he was the one who had the right to throw himself into the ring, and he did. He threw himself in the form of compassion. And so that was kind of the picture of, like, I just had this picture of Jesus, and I was like freaking out because I'm like, man, like, Jesus threw himself in because he's the only one who could. He did that on behalf of us, and he threw himself like a rock against the cross. And that was a lyric in the song at one point, but it didn't fit. But the song is just the story, you know, and there's a lot of metaphor in there along those lines. But just the concept of, like, you know, the cross is a symbol of shame, and the stone represents our punishment, the law, the heavy weight of the law. And Jesus kind of superseded both. And it's this story of, like, what Jesus has done for us is still good now. Like, he's carried us all this time. He's carried us through our shame, and he's going to continue to carry us. And again, you know, the paradox of it is we carry him. So he carries us in his flesh, but we carry him as well in our flesh, his spirit. And so that's kind of like I guess it's a chorus. It's kind of like a pre-chorus, but, you know, all this time, like a river running through my failure. You've carried me all this time, like splinters buried in your shoulders. And I just love that picture of, like, you know, us being the splinters that are still ingrained in his skin, and him still carrying us now. And then it kind of goes on and says, you've carried me all this way, like a diamond in the scars upon your crown. You carry me now. And so it's a song that I think it kind of just builds on itself. And we did it at Easter time in our church. It was the first song we did in church. And people just kind of reading the lyrics that didn't know the song were just freaking out just at some of the journey, because when it says, you know, he kneeled and wrote forgiveness in the dirt, and one by one the stones fell where they lay. And then when it was like, and one by one, my accusers walked away, and everyone was just like, it was really faith building. And so my prayer is that, like, it's kind of a song that people see themselves in the story, and I think that's really important for us, even as worship leaders. Sometimes we can just sing songs and sing the words, and we know what works, we know what's going to get people to kind of whatever, but there's something about a story that when people see themselves in it, it can kind of bring people into a different space of worship. So I feel like this is like, it would be a great song to do kind of, you know, third in a worship set, and then you go into a song like, you know, How Great Is Our God, or something that's really triumphant. People are like, I know why now, I remember why, because I was the woman caught in adultery, and Jesus threw himself in rather than...
Wow. Yeah, and we do see ourselves in the story. Then it gets to that chorus, and there's that response, that hallelujah, recognizing oh man, you know, that was me. You know, it's like he stepped in for me, and
Yeah.
it's like this corporate response to that is really powerful.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, again, the last chorus it's cool because sometimes when you write stuff, you don't, like, I don't feel like I meant this bit, but like, forever now, in the greatness of my Savior, forever now in. So it's this concept of being ingrained in who He is, forever now in the brightness of His name. Jesus on this rock, I'll sing you praise. And just, again, it's that picture of Jesus as the rock. The only time, every other time it's stones, and stone was rolled away, but Jesus was the rock. Yeah, so I like little stuff like that. I think it's cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, walk us through chord-wise what you're playing.
Yeah. Hold my Bible there.
Thank you, man.
Thanks. So we do it in D on the record. Just now we did it in A. The song kind of sits in the same kind of range. So you literally kind of do it in any key you like. I imagine for worship in a corporate service, like doing it in A would be nice. Or B, we did it in B, excuse me. In B, because it means everybody can sing that melody. The boy is really strong. So if you want it to kind of be more anthemic at the end, I think that'd be a nice key. But so I'll do it in B right now because that's what we just did it in. Excuse me. Like I said, it's one of those songs we've done in every key imaginable. So it's real simple. It's just like B. So 1, 6. 4. 1. Then kind of passes on a 5. So it does that. That's the verse, and then the pre-chorus is oh this time 6, 4, 1, 5. So that's does that, and then the second verse is an interesting little bit because, like I said, that it kind of builds on itself, and so it just skips the passing chord and it skips a bar and just dives in. It makes a lot of sense when you sing the lyrics, but so. One by one the storms fell where they lay, and one by one my accusers walked away. So it goes straight to the 6 there. 4. Anyway, then it goes on 1, 5, and then the chorus kind of drop out, and it's just 1. Hallelujah. If ever now my heart cries hallelujah. 5. I just kind of keep it open there. If ever now in the wonder of your grace. 4. 1,000 times 1,000 years my soul will say. 1, 5. Yeah. Really simple. That's pretty much the whole song.
Yeah, man, really beautiful. Well done. Guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing it with us.
Thanks.
The heavens cried. King, Jesus. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. I will sing of your great love forever. Praise the Lord evermore. I will sing of your great love forever. Yes, I will sing of your great love forever. We crown you King of majesty, our hope, our everything. You hold the victory forevermore. We crown you King of majesty, our hope, our everything. You hold the victory forevermore. You hold the victory forevermore. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. Yes, I will sing of your great love forever. Oh, praise the Lord evermore. Yes, I will sing of your great love forever. We say, praise the Lord, oh my soul. I will sing of your great love forever. Yes, I will sing of your great love forever. Yes, I will sing of your great love forever.
Well, guys, good to see you. Thanks for sharing the song with us.
It's great. Good to see you, Jimmy.
Man, I love this song. Every time I play these new Worship Central songs, this is a song that really stands out, and everybody talks about just how powerful it is, especially the bridge section, which is my favorite part of the song. Nick, let's start with you. I know you guys worked on this song together as a team, but give us just the thoughts behind it and kind of how the song began.
Yeah, well, as a team, we went away on a songwriting retreat, and the first morning, I woke up and I had this sort of phrase, this melody going through my head: praise the Lord, O my soul, sing of your great love forever. Be honest, it doesn't happen every day like that.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you know it happens all the time.
It doesn't. And I thought, I've got to get this down. So I ran down to the writing room, grabbed the first guitar I could find, recorded it on my phone, then went for breakfast. Then later in the morning, went in a songwriting group with Anna and with a guy called Sam Bailey. We sat down and just thought, we really want to write a song about the cross. Sam brought this lovely riff on the piano, and we got writing, and soon it became apparent that that melody I'd had in the morning was the perfect fit to finish this song off as the chorus. We tried the song a few times and then thought, we really need a bridge. And that's when we got Ben involved, who wrote this brilliant bridge. I don't know if you want to say something about that.
No, I mean, it was an amazing moment. I think when the guys brought this song, it just felt like, gosh, this is really special. And there was another verse. There was actually a whole other verse, I think, originally. True. And I think, but then we just felt like actually maybe it could use a little something else, another section. So yeah, it just sort of felt like, and again, thematically too, it's all about, Christ died on the cross and what he did for us, and our hearts are so grateful for that. We'll sing his great love. But this bridge, I think, just takes it to that victory, sort of, that he reigns on high. We crown him King of Majesty, that sort of image of him just seated on high. And so it just sort of came together, and that's how the song, came about.
It feels very much like a revelation kind of song.
Yeah.
Just that point of the scriptures where it talks about Jesus returning and victory, and everybody's praising, and it just feels like it's that kind of spirit of the song.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, walk us through what you're in. We kind of went back and forth key-wise here. But I mean, the recording is actually in B, right? And we did it in B. But obviously, you can, as with all these songs that are octave songs, you can always lower them down and use the female vocals can double the parts. But walk us through what you're playing.
Yeah, it's a really simple kind of 4-chord, but yeah, verse is basically C, and E minor, then D. That's basically it. And then the chorus is praise the Lord. And so before the bridge, it just stays over the one. So it's like a sus. So praise the Lord. So G. And then G says, oh my soul. So you kind of go, soul. And then E minor, I will sing of your great D forever. G basically. And at the very end, it goes, I will sing of your great love. It rests on the C there. Finishes there. And then the bridge is simple, 1/3, so it's kind of a G over B, I think, is that right? Yeah, we crown you King of, and then C, majesty, our everything. And this one's a C over E, kind of open, of everything you could hold, victory forevermore. And then the final chorus it breaks out to the full kind of chord progression, praise the Lord, and then the C or E. So, and E minor, we'll sing of your great love forever. So that's kind of how it works with the sort of octave thing. But then, we did a small sort of house group kind of recording of it, and it just works really well. It's sort of the same octave, kind of, you can sing it, on the cross of Calvary, you get, and then praise the Lord. And it still feels really nice in that key, like small group settings, and so that works really well as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thanks for sharing the song with us. It's going to be an amazing song for the church.
Thanks, man.
Met me at the sinner's table. I found you waiting by the well, unexpected. You were always there. Tracing up my steps. Light up the way of your heart. Move me like you do the mountains. Move me like you do the wind. And I chase your voice through the dark. Fix my eyes on the unexpected. In the wonder of your shadow step. So take another step. You never left the lost forsaken. Your mercy paves the road ahead. Unexpected. You were always good. You were always good. So light up the way of your heart. Move me like you do the mountains. Move me like you do the wind. And I chase your voice through the dark. Fix my eyes on the unexpected. In the wonder of your shadow stare. I can't explain your heart. Did it trace out all you are? But when I think about the road you took for love, I knew your grace was
stay the path. So light up the way of your heart. Move me like you do the mountains. Move me like you do the wind. And I'll chase your voice through the dark. Fix my eyes on the unexpected. In the wonder of your shadow stay. And I won't be afraid. In every way, you never fail. So have your way. Hear God, and I'll sing your praise. Fix my heart to yours, ready for the unexpected, ready for what you do next. So take another step.
Joel and Maddie, good to see you guys. Thanks for sharing these new United songs with us. And this song is really unique, and it's got a really unique title, Shadow Step. And when I hear this song, of course, a little bit of the lyric is interpretation, but man, I just hear like this message of like God's all-pursuing love for us, like He's chasing us and coming for us. It's so encouraging. But Joel, talk about the song a little bit, and this is one that Taya sings on the record. And but talk about this song a little bit.
Yeah, well, this song was, funnily enough, the lyric was, there was the last one to kind of fall lyrically for us, and yet almost all of the lyrics for the other songs at one point kind of worked their way through what this song was. And it's actually an amazing story because, I mean, probably 9 of the 12 songs or 13 songs that we recorded for this record, the lyrics in those at some point at one time or another were in this song, but then it just never felt right. And yet it was almost like God used this song as like to be very difficult to pull together, even though it came super easy and it's a very simple song, to help the process of the others. And I can't explain that. I mean, Maddie would be able to tell you I was always working on the lyrics to this song and I never had it. But really the shadow step, I mean, it's a picture of following God. Just that's really what it means to me. It's like I don't want to walk out of step with what God is doing, so I want you to lead the way, and I'm going to walk in the shadow of who you are. And I think, you know, it's a place just on theme with the album. It's the second song. It's After Wonder. There's so much wonder to be found, not in paving our own road or trying to like do all this groundbreaking stuff on our own or try to like find all this new territory. It's always been about following Jesus and stepping into who He is and where He is, you know. And I think we can sing about, you know, walking where our trust is without borders and all the rest of it. But really, it's the arms of God. It's just like it's walking in His shadow, and so that's kind of what it's like. That's what the song really is. There's a scripture for me that's kind of framed much of my life, and it's Proverbs 16 verse 9. It says, "In a man's heart he plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps." And our steps are ordained by the Lord. We just got to keep walking and trusting Him. And so that's really all the song is about. It's a very simple theme. There's definitely some interesting metaphors in there, but I love the idea of the unexpected nature of God. The first verse, it says, you know, you met me at the sinner's table. And that was like for Jesus to sit with the tax collectors and to sit that place, like it was, we don't understand, like we say it now because we know the story, but it was like mind-blowing to the religious, and it was mind-blowing to everyone around. They were like, who is this man to sit with these people? And that's where Jesus, He met us like in an unexpected place. And when He talked to the woman by the well, you know, it's like this moment of like, His disciples were like, what are you doing? Like, we don't do that. And so I think there's so much about God that is unexpected, and we should expect the unexpected. And the nature of that then is not being freaked out when things don't look like we think they should, because that's, Jesus always did unexpected things. Everything about from his birth, where he was born, where he came from, what he looked like, it was never what people wanted. And so I think here and now, like when it comes to the church and what we're doing, how we're supposed to be living, like we got to be ready. Like God's doing stuff that doesn't fit our mindset, you know. And it's even like Romans 11, where it talks about at the end there in the doxology, and it talks about, you know, who can understand the mind of God, and it goes on, his paths are beyond tracing out. It's not our job to trace out what God is supposed to do. God traces out our steps for us, and as we walk in that, we see God's faithfulness revealed. And so that's kind of the story of the song. And again, it's one that we could have done a million different ways. I wanted it to be very slow and kind of anthemic worship song. I think that's how we'll do it. On the record, it's kind of in between. It's kind of got a bit of pace and movement to it. You could do it as an upbeat song or as an intimate worship song.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. So Joel, show us what you're playing, like the key you're playing in, some of the chords.
It's in E. I originally wrote it for me to sing, and it was in A, which was a bit high for me, but E's kind of nice for either key, so you play it in maybe in C shape. Capo 4, yeah. So it's super simple. It's just, you met me at sinner's table. It's basically a 1, 5, 6, 4, and that's pretty much the whole song. That's the verse and the chorus, and then the pre-chorus just kind of bounces between. So it goes to 6, 4, 5. Tracing all my steps. Does that twice, and then the chorus just rolls. It's like every song that you learnt when you were a kid learning the guitar, so yeah, that's the whole song. And then the bridge is the only bit that's a bit different. It goes, so it goes 4, 2, 1. Oh no, that's not it, sorry, can I do that again? So it's 4 to a 2, to 6, to the 5, does that twice, and then the chorus again.
Yeah, I think I love this because I'm like a child of the 80s and 90s music, and this has all the elements of those great pop rock songs.
It feels like it does. It feels like all the songs. I was laughing because when we were doing it, like I used to love that knocking on Heaven's Door song, you know, like, and it's like, Mama, take this place from me. So it's like, I felt like that's what it felt like to me when we were doing it.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song with us.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Have you ever seen the wonder in the glimmer of first sight? As the eyes begin to open and the blindness meets the light. If your heart's so sick, I see the world in light. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in light. Blessed in living color, I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. Have you ever seen the wonder in the year of second life? Having come out of the waters with your lamb behind. I'm so sick. I see the world in light. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in light. Blessed in a living color. I see the world your way, and I'm walking
walking in the light. I see the world in grace, I see the world in gospel, I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. I'm walking in the wonder, you're the wonder in the wild, to the wilderness to wonder. Who I see the world in love, I see the world in freedom, I see the Jesus way, you're the wonder in the wild. I see the world your way, and I'm not afraid to follow. I see the world your way, and I'm not ashamed to say so. I see the Jesus way, and I'm walking in the light. I see the world in light, I see the world in wonder, I see the world in life, bursting in living color. I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. Oh, I see the world in grace, I see the world in gospel, I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the light. I'm walking in the wonder, you're the wonder in the wild, to the wilderness to wonder. Oh, I see the world in love, I see the world in freedom, I see the Jesus way, you're the wonder in the wild, to the wilderness to wonder. You're the wonder in the wild, to the wilderness to wonder.
Guys, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's exciting to hear these new United songs, and this is really the first track on the record, man. It really sets just like a really powerful tone. And besides musically all that's going on, which there's a lot in this song that I absolutely love, but lyrically this is such, to me, it's like such a hopeful song, and a timely song, I think, just because of like all the things that we see going on in the world. That we have a choice to either look at it in all of a negative way, or there's a choice to say, hey, you know what? There's, even in the midst of like the sadness, there's God's doing incredible things, and that's what it reminds me of when I hear this song. But start with you, Joel. Talk a little bit about this song and just the ideas behind it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of set the tone for the whole. I mean, you just nailed it. I mean, we were thinking about. I think Christians can get so serious, like, and I live in the States now, so I feel like. Oh, everyone's always so serious all the time, and the paradox of it is we have the most serious message there is, but the call, I believe, like when I read the Bible, it fills me with joy. It fills me with a sense of wonder at what God is doing, what He's promised. And I think the great thing about faith and journey and story is that, you know, when we look back at what God's done in the past, like we have nothing else but to be grateful and to kind of live in that joy that we know we've found the confidence that God is doing what He said He's going to do. He always has through all the time, and looking forward, that shouldn't change. And I think the real call for us here and now, and it's what we felt called this album really wanted to be, was just to kind of live in that childlike expectation and faith. Mm-hmm. And I got a 3.5-year-old son, you know, and the way he looks at the world and the way I think about him has taught me so much just about how I believe God looks at us. He's just full of imagination, and he'll listen to anything I say, like, and he believes me, and he's always up for a good time, always wants to play, always wants to explore, and I feel like that's how we're called to live as Christians. And I think if we lived that way, man, we'd set the greatest example for the world, because no one else has got anything to look to. And so one of the thoughts I had was just the song is kind of set up. There's 2 verses, and it's really it talks about the 2 things that we're called to do as Christians. That is salvation. And so the first verse is just about our eyes being opened. And I think about, I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. You could Google one after this, but of people. I saw a video of a guy who'd been colorblind his whole life, and he was in his 60s, and he saw color for the first time, and just the way I'm going to start crying now thinking about it, because he'd just never seen like that. And I think the Christian journey, like for us now, it's like when we get saved, our eyes are open to the kingdom, to what God is doing, a different way of looking at the world, like you said. And the second verse is about baptism and that sense of leaving the old behind and coming up out of the waters. And I had an experience years ago where I actually pretty much drowned. I thought I was dying. It was actually really awesome. It was really peaceful. Wow. And then I didn't. And I remember being on the beach and kind of looking around afterwards and just being so grateful for things that I would just normally take for granted. And I think, baptism is this idea of leaving death behind and stepping into, the second life, the air of second life. And that's probably, that line kind of sums up the whole record to me. But have you ever seen the wonder in the air of second life, having come out of the waters with the old one left behind? Wow. And then the rest of the song, we wanted to feel like this kind of, hey, like everyone who wants to be a part of this. So it's like an invitation. If you have, then so say, I see, and it's confession. I see the world, even if it looks bad, even if it looks terrible, there's something about confession that precedes belief even. And so something about, I see the world in light, I see the world in wonder, I see the world in life, bursting in living color, I see the world your way. And I'm walking in the light, and kind of just goes through all that stuff. And I love those words like grace and gospel and things like that. I'm not ashamed. It was just like, wanted to kind of have this just confession that is like reclaiming some of the real kind of things that we stand on and that we say we believe.
Yeah, and that chorus really, for me, turns into, that's what makes it the congregational song, because it's inviting everyone in,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so I can't wait. I can't wait for us to, we did it live for the first time in the Middle East of all places, and it was just, it was wild. People just like, so.
Well, and what a great example. I know you guys just got back from over there, and again, like all of the tragedy and all the things that we read about that are happening there and see, but like there's those seeds of hope, and there's those stories that are beautiful that are happening, and you guys got to see a lot of that while you were there. What an amazing opportunity. Well, Maddie, walk us through what you're playing. You're in capo 4?
Yep, capo 4. I usually play in C or G kind of shapes or whatever, but we're in the key B. So it starts on the 1. Have you ever seen the wonder in the air of second life? 4. Coming out the water, with the old left behind. 6. Back to the 4. If you have so say, I see the world in light. It's a 1. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in life, bursting in living color. 4. I see the world your way, and I'm walking in the one. That's a 1. And then halfway through the chorus is, if you have so say, I see the world in light, I see the world in freedom, I see the world, I see the Jesus way, and I'm walking in the one. Goes back to the 1. And I'm walking in the one.
It's pretty simple. It's like the most straightforward song.
Yeah.
And so, I think we've kind of got 3 choruses. Like there's 3 choruses that track the way out. And I think again, you can kind of do it any which way you want. I like the journey of it. I like kind of talking about just the different aspects of faith. Like God revealed Himself in light, He revealed Himself in grace, which is the gospel. And then the last one, I think, is more about how we're called to live according to the Spirit. So there's kind of a gospel story pathway in there, But
and Mikey did some great guitar lines.
He did.
Guitar players will be happy.
There's some good old school stuff, man. It just feels like home, So it's like it's really fun to play.
Yeah.
And tempo-wise as well. The interesting thing is we kind of do it in 2 tempos, which I think works. It's a bit of fun, but you can also, if you speed it up, you can slow it down. I feel like it's the kind of song that can adapt to even I've imagined doing it as a worship song, and we haven't tried that yet, but I'm interested to see how it would go.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song with us.
Thanks.
I see the world in light. I see the world in wonder. I see the world in light. Bursting.
Welcome to the New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. Today we're here with Ben Kenelon and Tim Hughes from Worship Central, and they'll be sharing their new song, The Way. So sit back and enjoy this New Song Cafe. Ben and Tim, good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
It's great to catch up and take a listen to all these new songs from Worship Central. And this song called The Way, I heard this a few weeks back. I actually saw some live video of the song. You were up in Canada leading the song, people jumping everywhere.
Party song.
But you guys talk about this song. I know you guys wrote this with a friend, Nick Herbert. But talk about the song and just kind of how it came about.
Yeah, well, Nick and I kind of started it out. And actually, I had the phrase, The Way. I thought for ages that'd be a great song. And obviously, you know, there's that verse, Jesus says, you know, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And there's many ways that we follow, many celebrities, many kind of things in life we try and follow, but we believe Jesus is obviously the one way that leads to life and fullness and joy. And so we're trying to capture this idea. And actually, we'd spent a morning trying to write a bunch of other songs, getting nowhere. And literally had 5 minutes before I had to head off and just started jamming around these chords. And really quickly, that kind of chorus came, and then sort of it was developing the lyrics and sort of trying to put the truth of that message around the song. And the idea was for it to be a real party song, celebration song. So we went to our friend who knows how to party the most, and Ben just again that production element brought the whole kind of this big dance hook. You know, we want. I think in many ways the church has lost what it means to party, to really go for it, to have fun, to dance, and you go to I don't know, a disco, a club, or whatever people do these days. And you know, there's massive parties, massive fun, dancing at church. It all seems a bit serious. So we just tried to capture in the production just the joy, and hopefully the release of we've got a great God that we're going to serve, and we're going to enjoy, and we're going to dance and celebrate.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love so much about this song is there's that element of celebration, which is sadly sometimes is lacking from a lot of worship music. And so I love that. It's a great song to start a service with, or, you know, even if you don't have all of the production or the keys or whatever, it's actually a really simple song to do. Well, you guys play the song for us. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
I was nowhere, you came to my rescue. From the grave I've been raised. When I needed a Savior to save me, Jesus, you made a way. I was blind, but these eyes have been opened. Now I walk in the light. Every step on this road I will follow. Jesus, you made a way, and you are the way, you are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way, yeah, you are the way, you are the way. You're the light shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, the only way. All my days are secure in your promise, never standing alone. You're the life, you're the truth, you're my future. Jesus, you made a way. I'm alive in the love that you give me, free to dance once again. You will lead me from glory to glory. Jesus, you made a way. shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. You are the way. You are the way. Lost and dead, but your love came to find me. Jesus, you are the way. You are the way. You are the way. You're the light shining bright in the darkness. Jesus, you are the way. You're the only way.
Great. Yeah, I like the human synthesizer.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
turn around too.
We didn't have the budget to bring the little synth pad in, and I wasn't going to trust Ben's guitar.
Yeah,
player,
yeah,
so.
exactly. Very nice. So you're playing in the key of B.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the range is pretty big on this song.
Yeah.
So you can adjust if you need to.
Yeah, well, we originally wrote it in C and then brought it down, but I guess, you know, you could quite easily do it in A.
Yeah, right.
I was no way, came to my rescue. So, yeah.
Yeah, whatever works for you.
And with this one, I know there's big debates in churches about keys and, you know, are some of the songs too high? And I think, you know, we want to make keys appropriate for our congregations. I think if you really want to go for a big celebration song, there is something about pushing people vocally.
Yeah.
Because this is the song you don't want to sing like half-heartedly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You want to absolutely go for it. And, you know, everyone sings along when Coldplay or whoever else, you know.
Volume is more important than tone, right?
Exactly. As you, yeah.
Wise words.
Well, walk us through what you're playing then, chord-wise.
Yeah, it's just E minor, C, G, and then occasionally I'm putting in the D, but it's that kind of C slid up too.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes I'm just keeping it a bit more open. I was no way, you came to my rescue. From the grave I've been raised. Just to make the verses a bit darker. And then the chorus, you are the way. You know, then kind of putting in the full chords just to give the brighter top end.
Yep. And then toward the end of the song, so it's got pretty much that kind of that minor feel throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And toward the end of the song, it switches over to that 4-1-6-5
Yeah,
progression.
we wanted to end feeling much brighter. And obviously, key to this song, which is unusual for perhaps some of the songs you've done before, is this big synth dance hook. Which obviously you don't need it, but it adds fun. But anyway, so we just thought to change the chords around to brighten it up. So yeah, just there. C. You are the way. G. You are the way. Kind of D with the C shape slid up too. Just to keep a bit of variety chordally.
Absolutely.
Harmonically.
Well, good job, guys. Thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song with us.
Thank you.
Take me back to the moment of surrender, heart completely yours, unafraid, just a child within your presence, trusting in you, Lord. Walk into this place, I give you space. Come and move around me. Meet me face to face, stir my heart, awaken love within me. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love. My first love. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first sheltered from your love. Thought my strength was strength enough. I am done relying on myself. You're the one who breaks my chains. You're the one who calls my name. I will look to you and no one else. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love. My first love. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love. My first love. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love. My first love. Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love. My first love. Take me back to the moment of surrender. Heart completely yours.
Kim, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk about these songs from
Yeah.
your new album.
Happy to be doing it.
Yeah, this song called "Awaken Love,"
Mhm.
and you wrote this with some friends. But I love this song. It's kind of a prayer. Like you get to that
Mhm.
chorus, and it goes into the "Jesus come, Jesus come."
Yeah.
Talk about this and kind of what inspired you. You actually wrote this song here in your living room where we're sitting,
Right. Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about the song.
Yeah, this song it really is a prayer, and it's starting with saying, take me back to the moment of surrender. And we wanted to kind of put some emphasis on remembering your first love, remembering that first moment when you really surrendered your life to the Lord and experienced his love and encountered him. And I think that that's something really powerful to recall and to bring to our minds. And the going into the chorus, it says, Jesus come, Jesus come. And again, I think I've talked about it in Throne Room and some of these other songs that we know as Christians that we do have Jesus alive inside of us, but there's something powerful about the posture of our heart when we say, Jesus, come. And it's about shifting our perspective and our mindset. And this song, this prayer is just saying, Jesus, I want to meet you right where I am and right in the middle of whatever season it is. And I'm remembering what that's like and what that feels like and that surrender. And the bridge says, I have tried to do this on my own. I've tried to rely on my own strength, and now I'm realizing that's not the way to go. And just again, that kind of realignment and that re-shifting, because we just get going with life and busyness, and especially if you've been a Christian for a while, I think there are times that you kind of stop and go, man, why am I feeling like this or like that? And kind of going, I haven't really checked in with my heart lately. And what is the posture of my heart and the prayer of my heart? And am I relying on my own strength? And am I forgetting that I'm nothing without Jesus,
Yeah.
And going back to that place and just putting everything out there to be with him.
And I love that reminder that it's like the old hymn says, like with God, there's no shadow or turning with him, but we turn and we kind of get off. But that whole idea of making that prayer about, God, awaken my heart. Like,
yes.
I'm coming back to you.
Yeah.
I know you're there. You've been waiting for me to come.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, kind of walk us through, I see your capo 3 there, just the
Yep.
chords that you're playing during this.
We're in the key of F. I'm capo 3 playing in D. The verse and pre-chorus chords are 4-6-5. That's the verse, and then the pre is 6-5, 1/3-4. I'll just play through the verse and pre-chorus. So that's B flat to D minor to C. And then the pre-chorus, D minor, C, F over A, B flat. Chorus is 1-2-6-4, or F, G minor, D minor, B flat. And then the bridge is 4 with a passing 6, 5, 6, 5, and then with a passing 1/3. I'll play through that. Repeats that a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, man. And Kim, thanks so much for sharing the song with us and taking the time.
Thank you.
Jesus, come. Jesus, come. My first love.
Here we go. Y'all ready? We're ready. 3, 4.
Between us, by the cross you came and broke them down. You broke them down. There were chains around us. By your grace we are no longer bound. No longer bound. You called me out of the grave. You called me into the light. You called my name and then my heart came alive. Your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Awakens me. Feel the darkness shaking. All the dead are coming back to life, back to life. Hear the song awaken, all creation singing, we're alive, 'cause you're alive. You call me out of the grave, you call me into the light. You call my name and then my heart came alive. Your love is greater, your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. In what a love we found. Death can't hold us down. Shout it out, we're alive 'cause you're alive. And what a love we found. Death can't hold us down. Shout it out, we're alive 'cause you're alive. And what a love we found. Death can't hold us down. Shout it out, we're alive 'cause you're alive. Singing, your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens me. Your love is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens,
Chris and Phil, great to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
This is a first, man. We're outside.
I know,
you
hanging out by the beach.
The weather's beautiful.
It's nice. It's kind of humid. My hair's getting a little like extra perm-like.
Well, man, this song is amazing. It's doing, actually, we were just talking about it. It's actually doing really well both in the church and also on radio, Phil, with your single. And it's just such a song that's really awesome from the lyric. We were just talking about, I love this idea of God comes to us first and awakens us. Like all of what we do, all of our goodness is a response to what God has done in us. And I think it's really special for the church to sing. But I'd love to hear you guys talk about the song. Is this the first time you guys have co-written together?
Yeah, this is the first time. And
wow.
We co-wrote over computer screens.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I remember we had mutual friends we met before. I've always wanted to write with Chris. I'm a big fan of what he does through Jesus culture and all that. And so I brought a song to him through FaceTime. It was called, I can't remember what it's called, but something like How Great Is Your Love or something about, I had this song forever. And I thought, man, maybe Chris can just breathe some fresh life into it. And so we were fiddling around with it and trying to figure out, what it should say and where the verses should go. And then we kind of started stumbling on this bridge idea. And I was like, oh, what if it's talking about how God's love is bigger than our sin and stronger than the grave and it awakens us to life. And Chris just said, like, what if it just says your love is greater, your love is stronger, your love awakens me. I don't know, and then about a day later, it was just caught in my head. Your love is greater, your love is stronger. I couldn't stop singing it. So I think I called you up. I was like, what do you think about that being the chorus?
Yeah, I think you just sent me a demo. It was like, hey, I think the bridge works great as a chorus, which I love. It was awesome.
So it worked out great. And I mean, it's a simple lyric, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like you said, it's like when we experience God's love in our lives and we see it, whether it's through relationships or creation or our hearts being saved out of death or shame being washed away in the light of his grace. I mean, the whole song kind of captures that celebration of that moment. It's like, wow, God, your love it awakens me out of death. It awakens me out of purposelessness. I don't even know if that's the word, but like into hopefulness, into purpose, into meaning. And how it's not just like a one-time altar call, you've awakened my heart, but it's like a day-to-day, like, wow, the reality of your love awakens my whole being to reason and to purpose and to life. And so it's just celebrating that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I think you guys are doing this, is it the key of C? Is that right?
I'm 2 down a half step.
Okay. All right, so we're actually
really confusing for everybody.
Very tricky. I'm glad we made note of that. But you guys walk us through just the chords. I mean, really simple chord structure.
I think a lot of people probably would do capo 4 on this song and play in the G shape. So you want to run through it?
Sure. So in B, like you said, on 4, so it's just the intro's G, over the G to C, and then which is B to E, and then the verse is the same.
Super easy.
Same thing through.
It was between us by the cross you came and broke them down.
So then the pre goes up to the 5.
Which is F sharp if you're in B, and it's D if you're in the G. Super easy.
And then just to the 4, which is the C position when you're capoed. You call me out of the grave, you call me into the light, you call my name and then my heart came alive. Chorus. G.
Yeah, G. Your love is strong. C. Minor.
Quick passing back to the C, and that's pretty much it.
Super easy.
Absolutely. And then the bridge, kind of take us from where you start off.
Yeah, so after the second chorus, you kind of hold on the 1 and the G for a couple bars, and then
into the C. Oh, love we found. G.
E minor.
Shout it out.
5.
We're alive, 'cause you're alive. And just repeats that. Get on us down.
E minor.
Shout it out. Does that one more time? So you're pretty much sticking to those 4 chords. It's that you just 4 chords kind of worship song.
And sometimes I throw in the.
Sometimes throwing a little minor 7, a little diminished.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah, that's right.
It's super simple.
Guys, it's such a great song. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk about it and share it with us.
Thanks for letting me write on it.
Oh man, it's so fun to write on it, and it's so cool to hear people little by little starting to sing it in their churches, and such a massive honor. And yeah, thanks for having us on.
You guys are batting 1,000. I think you need to do this again sometime.
Oh, I'd love to. 1 for 1.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Your love
is greater. Your love is stronger. Your love awakens, awakens, awakens.
Dream after dream, you are speaking to me, breathing word after word of kingdom come. Here at your feet, I can see the unseen. Truly, one look at you and I'm undone. I run to the throne room, I run to the throne room, and I fall on my face with angels and saints, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you, God. My heart can't contain the weight of your name, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you. Grace upon grace, all my fear falls away. Only your perfect love for me remains. Oh, time after time, you stay close by my side, burning fire inside I can't contain. I run to the throne room, I run to the throne room, and I fall on my face with angels and saints, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you, God. My heart can't contain the weight of your name, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you. I run to the throne room before you, the only one. I run to the throne room before you. I'm overcome. I run to the throne room before you, the only one. I run to the throne room before you. I'm overcome. And I fall on my face with angels and saints, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you, God. My heart can't contain the weight of your name, and all I can say is holy, holy, holy are you.
Kim and Jeffrey, good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Man, I love this song, Throne Room. When you were working on your album, I remember the first music we got was this song came in, and we all just kind of sat in a group and turned it up really loud, and we're just blown away by how powerful it was. Not just vocally, but also lyrically, and some of the imagery that's in the song is really powerful. Talk about this song, and it's interesting, like with worship music today, I think it's always cool to go back and discover like words and things that we used to say in church that maybe we don't say a lot anymore. And this throne room idea obviously was, it feels like it, through church time and history, like these thoughts and images kind of resurface and come back around. And this is one of those. But talk about that.
It's kind of like the phrase throne room is kind of seen as like, it's like a little bit of an old school type phrase, or like hearing that lyric in songs, but the song itself is really fresh and new and different and exciting. And you know, this song, it's all about what do we do, and what is our response in every situation, every circumstance, no matter what it is that we're going through, that this is where we go, where we turn our attention, we run to the throne room. And yes, as Christians, you know, Jesus is alive inside of us. We're never really without him, you know, but there is something about the posture of our heart and our attention, and just shifting our focus and our attention to be on him. And, you know, one of the hardest parts, I think, in Christianity is, you know, it's real easy to go running to God when things are hard, but the challenge is remembering to take the time in your day to shift your attention and your mindset to God just throughout your normal day, like whatever it is going on. And that's the other part of this song. And even in the music video, you know, you see people who are kind of taking a moment in their normal day life to just stop and to fix their eyes on Jesus and put their attention on him. And that's what that's the message that we want to convey in this song. Is like he is the source of strength and everything that we want to run into his presence, to live in his presence, dwell in his presence, but not just in the difficult times, but in every day, in every moment, and taking the time out in our day to do that.
Yeah, and that's a great thought and a good opportunity to teach our churches and our people of, like, there's a difference between being present and being in the presence, if you could say.
Intentional about that and moving towards
it's like I could sit in the room with my wife on my phone and completely be oblivious to the fact that she was there, but to be present and communicating together is a whole different thing. It's just a great...
Engaging the heart. And,
what a great thought about our relationship with God. Well, Jeffrey, walk us through what you're playing chord-wise on this song.
Sure. The verses are 4, 2, 1, 5. And the chorus and the bridge are real similar, except they're 4, 2, 6, 5. So. And the bridge is the same chord progression, just twice as fast. So we're in the key of A, I'm capo 2, and I'm playing in G.
Yeah. Great. Guys, thanks so much for sharing the song with us, Kim.
Renew us in this day, just like you said you would. Your word is not in vain, our hearts reaching heavenward. Fresh outpouring, tear the fabric open. Come, Jesus, come. Breath of heaven, nothing left unshaken. We long for more. We need a fresh outpouring. Unleash a fresh outpouring. We need a fresh outpouring. Unleash a fresh outpouring. As temporary fades, let glory invade this earth. Power on display, our eyes looking heavenward. Fresh outpouring, tear the fabric open. Come, Jesus, come. a fresh outpouring fresh outpouring, tear the fabric open. Come, Jesus, come.
Kim, thanks for taking the time with us.
Yeah.
I love being in your home. Thanks for letting us crash your pad here.
Thank you.
And talk about these songs. This song is amazing. I guess I first experienced this. It was a Jesus Culture Conference.
Yeah.
And you had written it recently, decided to try it out. You got live bodies out there. And it was just such an amazing night. I mean, the song really took on a life of its own. And talk about the song. I've heard you talk about this just in the team and in the Jesus Culture team and how much the song has meant to you guys. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, fresh outpouring. This song kind of surprised me, actually. I don't think we fully intended, to write this kind of prayer, and it just kind of came out that way and became much bigger than what I had even thought originally. And this song means a lot to me, but also to our team, because this is really the prayer and the cry of our heart, that we want to see God do something fresh and new, and that outpouring of his presence and his spirit. And Jesus Culture, this is how everything started for us, was, just a bunch of people in a room together praying and asking God to do something amazing. And he did. And that's always been at the forefront of everything we do, that we just want God to be glorified. We want him to pour out his spirit, and we're pressing in for what he has for us, which it is different, and it changes, and there is something fresh, and there is something new, and there is always more of him to learn and to discover and to know. And so this song it's really special, because especially at this point in our lives and in our ministry, this is exactly what we are looking for and praying for, is just, okay, God, you've done it so many times. Do it again. Do something fresh and do something new.
Yeah, and it feels like one of these songs, too, that it could be 5 minutes or it could be 15 minutes.
Exactly. And if I'm leading it, it's probably going to be like 15 minutes.
But there's all these sections where it's really easy to repeat.
Yeah.
Different sections, or use parts of the song as a tag. And so it's, for church use, it's like really easy.
Definitely. Definitely.
Well, Jeffrey, walk us through, just chord-wise. You're in capo 1, right?
Yeah, capo 1, A flat. A flat's not the easiest key to play in. So capo 1, verse is 6-1-4. Pre-chorus is 4-6-5-1-3. So I'll play through those two sections. For just chord names, it's F minor, A flat major, D flat major for the verse. Pre-chorus, D flat major, F minor, E flat major, A flat major, C minor. So here's the verse. 6, 1 to 4. And then the pre-chorus. 4, 6, 5, 1. 3 minor. Chorus is 4-2-6-1/3. And then the bridge is 4-2-6-5.
Kim, thanks for sharing the song with us. And I feel like this is going to be one of those songs that really impacts the church. So thank you for sharing it.
Thanks.
Fresh outpouring, tear the fabric open. Come, Jesus, come.
Welcome to the New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. Today we have Chris Kilala sharing his song, Alleluia. So sit back and enjoy this New Song Cafe. Chris and Ian, great to be with you guys.
Good to be here.
Man, it's good to be here in your hometown.
Sacramento.
That's right. Jesus Culture Church and the ministry located here. And getting to play through these songs with you guys. And a lot of these songs are really established in the church already, so it's great to be able to kind of take these songs, maybe introduce them to a wider area of the church. But this song is called Alleluia. And we were just talking about it. When I was just listening along this song, and it just, first thing that hit me was Isaiah 6, where Isaiah says, I saw the Lord high and lifted up, and of course he sees God, and he thinks, I'm not worthy to see this, and even the bridge of this song where it says all the angels cry out, holy, holy, that part in there where the seraphim are actually calling out to each other, holy, holy, holy. And so it just feels like, this song really feels like the scripture's really permeated, throughout of it, and this glimpse of, we sort of get this glimpse of heaven, and the curtain is kind of pulled back, and for a second we get to see, all just the worship that's going on in heaven. But talk about this song a little bit. And,
I mean, you just nailed it. So.
Am I reading your mail?
Yeah.
Ian
actually wrote. We were getting together right for an album, and he had the chorus. Alleluia, lover of our souls, and so I don't know if you want to talk about where that.
I was just worshiping.
Yeah. You're just worshiping, and then we're like, man, that's great. Let's stick with that theme and write a bridge and the verses obviously with it. But this song actually recently has been huge. He's got that line with all of heaven. We were singing, and I don't know if some people may know. My wife and I lost our son. We had a stillborn, and just a couple months ago, and so that might tear up. But like every time we sing that, with all of heaven, we were singing. It just kind of reminds me that. Of eternity, and that this is just this life here is just a glimpse, and that we really are. It's for us. It's given us a hey, we're pointing towards heaven. That's our ultimate goal, so that little line in that chorus has a whole new meaning now. It's like you sing these songs, and then in certain moments, they mean a lot more than they do than other times. So
I've heard that more than once. Writers say that God gives them a song that he ends up using later on to minister to them. It's amazing how
it really has. We just did it recently at a conference, and it was just like kind of messed me up. But it is cool that the whole concept of heaven is we're joining with heaven, and I think we can even while we're here, there's moments where it feels like we're worshiping with heaven and the angels, and so.
Absolutely. Well, you guys play. I would love to hear it.
Father, we have come to bow down in worship, lifting up our hearts. We bow down in praise. And alleluia, with all of heaven, we are singing, and all the angels cry out, holy is the Lord, and all the earth replies, holy are you, and all the angels cry out, holy is the Lord God, all the earth replies, holy are you, and all the angels cry out, holy is the Lord, and all the earth replies, holy are you, and all the angels cry out, holy is the Lord God, and all the earth replies. We lift up your name and sing, Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Holy are you, Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Holy are you, and all the angels cry out, holy is the Lord, and all the earth replies, holy are you.
Wow, I love the kind of the call and response that's happening there during that bridge, or heaven's declaring and earth is responding. It's really powerful. It is.
Awesome. It's funny, we most of our songs, originals, like the first time we were ever playing it is live, like for the recording. So we actually recorded it once, and then the next set we're like, it needs something else. So we, for the next session, we added that Alleluia, Alleluia, Holy are you, because it kind of felt like it needed that extra, like,
the
like
midnight
you said,
hour
response. So
the midnight hour, just running in the other room like, gotta come with something
it needs
else.
another part.
Nothing like a deadline to stimulate creativity,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And hoping we're going to remember it when we actually tracked it.
Yeah, and well, that's a great thing about the way you guys introduce songs in a corporate setting, is because you get a chance to kind of try them out, and you get into it and you play. Because a lot of times you get in, you play a song, and you come out saying, you know what, this worked, and I think we need to add something here. It gives you the chance to kind of like get the feedback and kind of test things out before you actually, record.
Yeah, ideally it's before the recording, but now that we have a local expression of Jesus Culture at church, we're like excited about that process, like trying it out every Sunday and tweaking stuff, but yeah.
All right, so you guys are playing in the key of F. You're capo 3, so you're actually in the D position.
Yes.
But you're going to try to teach this actually in F chords, is that right?
It's funny because I don't actually play on the whole song, so I'm like trying to remember the chords, but yeah.
But kind of walk us through what you're playing.
So the intro is just kind of over the F suspended, F sus. So the 1 sus. Father, we have come to bow, D minor, to the 5, which is C, in worship, to the B flat. Lifting up our hearts, we bow down, D minor, C, B flat. And then into the chorus, it stays on the B flat. Alle, to the F, the 1. Hallelujah, to the C. Lover of our souls, repeated. Alle, F, C. And then it goes to the 2 minor, which is G minor. With all of heaven, 5, or what's that, 1/3, so that's F over A. With all of heaven, we are singing. 5.
A little walk up there,
C. Sometimes I'll repeat that. With all of heaven, we are singing. So that's the verse, chorus, and then the bridge drops to the 4, B flat. All the angels to the 1, which is F. All the angels cry out, holy is the, to the C, holy is the Lord, to the 6 minor, which is D minor. So it repeats that. And then there's kind of a second bridge or a tag onto that bridge, which goes to the B flat. Alleluia, to the 5, which is C. Alleluia, to the 6 minor, D minor. Hallelujah. Back to the 5. Holy are you.
Just kind of walks back and forth, up and down.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Guys, thanks so much for coming by and sharing the song. Really love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I get lost inside this wonder, 'cause there's so much to discover. New dimensions of your glory, and I've only seen a glimpse. You keep drawing me, you keep drawing me closer to your heart. You keep calling me, you keep calling me closer to your heart. Every facet of your beauty, my heart responds with holy, holy. Oh, you never cease to amaze me, and it's only just a start. Oh, it's only just the start. You keep drawing me, you keep drawing me closer to your heart. You keep calling me, you keep calling me closer to your heart. You keep drawing me, you keep drawing me closer to your heart. You keep calling me, you keep calling me closer to your heart. Closer to your heart. Holy, I get lost in your love, I get lost in your love. Holy, full of awe and wonder, full of awe and wonder. Holy, I get lost in your love, I get lost in your love. Holy, full of awe and wonder, full of awe and wonder. You keep drawing me, you keep drawing me closer to your heart. You keep calling me,
Man, thanks so much, guys. What an awesome performance. We were just talking about that song works so well just in this arrangement, broken down, but it feels like it's one of those songs that could be big in church as well. Carrie, talk about this song a little bit. I know this kind of, again, came out of church and wrote with some folks at your church, but kind of just the thought behind the song. It feels very personal and feels a very intimate type of song, but I'd love to hear you talk about it.
Yeah, we started writing this with some of our guys at church, and we actually did it at church a few weeks ago, and it did get big, and we kind of kept that bridge going, and Cody jumped up the octave, and I jumped up on a part, and I turned to the band and just was like, keep that going, because it just like hit something really special. So yeah, it can stay really intimate, but it could also just really build and grow. But this just came out of we were sitting around talking about how we just need to stay full of awe and wonder of who God is, like children. You know, I think sometimes we complicate our Christian faith and our walk too much. Like, God really cares for us, and He's moved by faith, and He never turns away children. He says, "Let the little children come to me." And I just wanted to write a song really about that, being full of awe and wonder and being curious about the things of God and staying in that place of, God, show me more, because the more you draw me, the more that I come in close, the more I want to see, the more I want to hear of your voice. And so it's really simple, really. It's just a sweet worship song.
Yeah, and I love the octave in the chorus. For some reason, to me, it feels more intimate than if it was just one person. It brings something out to have that low octave in there.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's really nice, and then being able to trade those verses off as well. It just makes it so user friendly to be able to lead it in church and get people involved.
Totally,
it's really great. Cody, walk us through your capo 6. Is that right?
Capo 6. So I'm playing in a G shape. The song's in C sharp. It's a really simple song. So the intro just starts with a 6 minor to the 4 to the 1. 6 minor, 4, 1. Verses are exactly the same. 6 minor, 4, 1. And then when you go to the chorus, it's the same thing, but you hold the 6 minor 2 more beats, so for a full bar. So full bar there, and then 4 again, full bar there, and then to the 1. And you hold this one 6 counts, and then you go to the 5, kind of as a passing chord. Repeat that. And then when it goes to the bridge, it starts on the 4, so, and then 6, to the 1, to the 5. And I kind of like to do this 5 where it's the same as the 4, same shape, you just slide it up 2 frets. So 6, 4, 1, 5, and that's it. It's really simple.
Yeah. And McKendry, kind of show us what you're playing there. I like your jam on this song. It's really nice. But kind of walk us through some of those melodies you're playing there.
Yeah, I'm keeping it really simple as far as the verse and chorus goes. I'm just, playing exactly what Cody's playing. The thing I'm kind of adding in the bridge, halfway through the bridge, is I'm playing off of her melody, just, and then the last time through, I jump up an octave. I feel like it gives it a nice full sound there for that. Yeah.
Well, Carrie, thanks so much for sharing the song with us. Really great. Thanks, Cody.
You keep drawing me. You keep drawing me closer to your
see your face? Will you take me there again? And you can search my heart in the deepest part, from beginning to the end. To you, my eyes are lifting. To you, my prayer is rising up. You've captured my attention. Consume me, consume me. God, give me a heart abandoned ever after you alone. Gold and silver, you can take it. All I want is you, my Lord. All I want is you, Jesus. You can have my soul, just like Jericho. Come and tear down my walls, do it, do it. And I am in your hands. You are the promised land. You are the king of my heart. Oh, lift your eyes now. To you, my eyes are lifting. To you, my prayer is rising up. You've captured my attention now. Consume me, consume me. God, give me a heart abandoned ever after you alone. Gold and silver, you can take it. All I want is you, my Lord. Yeah, you're all that I want, you're all that I need. And when I've been the fool and I hid from you, you still called out my name. And when my flesh is weak, will you help me see that you are all that I need? Oh Jesus, you are all that I need. Oh, ever after you alone. Gold and silver, you can take it. It's all I want is you, my Lord.
Guys, thanks for sharing the song with us. It was so awesome to hear this song at Passion in the Dome. All those students singing it out. Christian, I'll start with you on this because I know you and Sean worked on this song together. But talk about this song and just the theme. I mean, what a better theme to sing with a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds.